The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everybody, to the official space section of the chart.
What's the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Sir, you're out of order. Out of order. I show you out of order.
Hey, everybody, I'm Michael.
Hi, I'm Charles.
That would be C.
I am Martin St. Clair.
That's his porn name, ladies and gentlemen. And we are your real debaters this week. This is where the art of cinema meets the power of debate. Thank you for tuning into another episode, listener. We very much appreciate it. We have an episode for you this week that this one's mine, this one's my baby. And I think everybody who's going to listen to this has a fetish of sorts, has a secret show, has one that they don't like to tell the world.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I have Hayu now, or Hayu, however you pronounce it. I have seen Caillou, whatever the fuck it is. This whole episode is a debate based on reality television and what the three of us believe should be the next best reality TV show. So that's what we're going to be debating for you this week.
What's your fetish?
Yeah, what I mean by that is like, okay,
Show us your dick.
hey man, isn't that like Love Is Blind thing where people like show their naked body and then someone picks them based on the feet, then the legs, then
So
the
it's
balls?
not, it's not Love Is Blind, but
Yeah.
they have a show in the UK. I've heard
Yeah.
about this where, like they start
Which brings me to my reality show, Show Me Your Feet.
Guess who?
I have a feeling that if that's true, Martin definitely pitched Quentin for some money.
That's why
that show.
it blew Quentin away. He canceled his movie.
That's
And
why.
he's like, I'm investing.
The movie critic is done. I'm doing Show Me Your
Fuck
Feet.
that movie. I'm investing in this.
No, but what I mean is like by fetish, I mean we all have that secret show, the one that's kind of gross.
Guilty pleasure,
kinda
Mike.
weird,
A guilty
right?
pleasure.
Yeah, guilty.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Better verbiage.
What's your fetish?
Do you like pegging? Are you into watching pegging? Diapers? Anybody? No.
Well,
so
MTV went full into that. Remember, My Strange Addiction was insane.
how about intervention?
Yeah,
right.
another crazy
like
one.
watching people.
Yeah.
So there's something for everybody. So that we're now going to argue why these are the ones we should see in the next season of reality.
Just want to give a quick shout out to Intervention for fucking ruining my life for a good year.
Right?
Anytime that show came on. The worst ones is when they were better. And then it'd be like, Becky died of an overdose 2 weeks after filming.
Yeah, the end
And you're
credits.
like, why did I watch this then? What the fuck was this for?
Interventions don't work.
Oh, it looks like our family didn't do it well.
Yeah. Back to Show Me Your Dick.
And Teen Mom. I will say the first show I thought of in this whole thing was Teen Dad.
Oh, I don't even want to tell you some of the ideas.
Are we ready for
I
Teen
had.
Dad?
I had like a list of 10, and I'm like, inappropriate, illegal, unkind.
Illegal's the best.
Could be considered slavery. Like there were so many things.
Michael.
That, like I really
He just said slavery, the show. He's like, maybe people are interpret this wrong.
Mike, mark this point in the show because you will have to edit that out.
No. What I wanted to do was I'm not even. Edit.
No, what I
Edit.
I wanted to recreate.
It's Gone with the Wind, but the South wins.
For a modern audience.
I shouldn't say slavery. It was improper use.
Guilty pleasure, I think, is the word you're looking for,
Probably.
Michael.
Trying to find it the whole time. So yeah,
Owning another human.
we're canceled. Everybody stop listening.
Another.
All
Oh, this
proceeds.
is good.
I swear, all proceeds from the show
Did
do
you-
not go into slavery.
I haven't watched yet, but did you guys see the preview for that crazy Netflix prison show where he's like, I'm removing the guards and opening the doors, and if you guys are all cool. So I haven't seen it yet, but my God, is that interesting.
Right?
Is it like that experiment they did?
Yeah, that's
the Harvard
night.
experiment.
Yeah. So this one is
Well,
like,
it's funny that you mentioned that because my slavery thing was using prisoners like in death
don't go
race.
back to it.
No, I want to clarify.
Mike, you gotta stop saying slavery. Just stop saying slavery.
I wanted to sell prisoners into reality TV, like a Running Man kind of scenario.
Oh my God.
That was I wanted.
So say prisoners, not slaves.
I know, but you're selling another human for a job.
Sure, but that's prison.
Okay.
Yeah, not slave.
That fascist prison now, Michael.
So before we get into this incredibly questionable episode for you, listener, we have some things that we want to talk about that we've been doing here on the show. So let's talk about us for a second. I'll get this out of the way. We've got another trivia date for you in May when the weather starts to get nice, when you're like looking for shit to do.
Yeah, when it's hopefully really good.
When it's really, when it's finally
figured out.
Yeah, the snow has stopped snowing half the day.
Yeah.
We are now we're increasing the empire of Real Debaters trivia. We're removing bingo from all future events. Charles, can
bingo
attest
wasn't our game.
Bingo, no, it wasn't. It's too complicated.
Too many restrictions, man.
Yeah, stay in your wheelhouse, as they say. So May 23rd, 7 p.m. Finn's on Grant. We will be doing another trivia night. This one. We've perfected this one. This is the first one we actually did. We've added some doozies. So we've got Disney and Pixar.
Oh yeah.
We've got the great 80s.
The
wild 80s of filmmaking.
Love it.
A general movie trivia round, like something for everybody.
Yeah.
And then we're going deep. We're going to a galaxy far, far away.
Ooh.
We're going to do some star dating. It is a Star Wars / Trek round.
Oh, wow.
So replicators,
Nice.
lightsabers,
Nice.
USS Enterprises, Millennium Falcons. It'll be a little bit of everything. So May 23rd. Tickets are not on sale yet, but as soon as you listen to another episode or subscribe to the show in the show notes, you'd find out about that. So do that so that you're in the know, so you can buy your tickets. $5 a ticket in this market when inflation, shrinkflation, and all this shit's going around. We know our value.
Yeah.
We just want a lot of you there. We just want a lot of you there.
Yeah.
So make a team of 4. That's the biggest team you can make. We're going to send you to the movies across the parking lot, actually. We're going to send you to Landmark Theaters. The winner, as if you've been to one of these before, you actually get some prizes. And Jay said he might throw something in too, so who knows?
Fuck yeah.
The winner gets to eat a free plate of nachos off my chest.
There you go. He'll fly in for that.
And the Dune bucket.
And well, he fucks the Dune bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dune bucket's just for me. That's for me.
And that is my new reality TV show. Eat nachos off Martin.
Design.
Eat nachos off of Martin. So yeah, May 23rd, 7 p.m. Finn's on Grant and movie trivia with the Real Debaters. It'll be a good time. Charles, you've got another thing, a yearly thing happening.
I do, yeah, and it's the 8th one actually. It's the 8th year I've done this, which is really cool because I've never
consecutively. You've never missed, right?
Never missed, luckily. Yeah, even with COVID. I mean, granted, we don't do anything live or in person, but I mean, there was enough content to at least roast during COVID. So, no, yeah, it's the nerdies. So again, best and worst of 2023.
But like, what are your categories for people who've never listened? And for those, there's like you have some new ones, don't you?
Yeah. So I got a couple. I think last year I introduced I like basically want to take the best of the Oscars and the best of the Razzies and just put it into one kind of thing. So we have worst and best visuals, worst and best heroes / hero.
Yes.
Worst and best villains.
Wants this.
Yeah. Worst and best scene, worst and best movie, worst and best video game.
Worst and best dick on screen.
Yeah. Worst and best Kevin Bacon nude scene.
You should do a best dick shot and a best.
They're getting rid of them, man.
A best full frontal nudity.
They're getting rid of them.
Yeah,
Mike.
but you only have like 3 to pick from.
You know who's doing them now? TV is really going for it
HBO.
now. Yeah. TV doesn't give a fuck.
All dicks.
TV does not give a shit. It's all Hollywood that's now, but yeah, TV, I was like, damn. Yeah.
I mean, Martin turned me on to Game of Thrones, but he did not give me a heads up.
But then Game of Thrones turned you on.
Theon Greyjoy turned me on.
Oh,
that's Lily Allen's brother, man. That's Lily Allen's brother.
Really?
That's Alfie Allen, Lily Allen's brother.
Oh, it is. Yes, you're right.
Oh,
it is.
Shit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and he's been interviewed about that song that she wrote about him. Because, anyways.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, nerdies.
It's really fun. It's a lot of fun. I obviously roast the worst movies and stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's basically everything. It's wrapping up pop culture in the last year in half an hour versus 3 hours of just shit.
Yeah, and smacks.
Yes. Yeah.
Self-aggrandizing. I mean, as much as we all love the Oscars and I sit there playing bingo and shit with it, right? It can be a little self-grandizing.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, yours is a lot of fun. When can they expect such things? To be?
So yeah, we've you can head over to the official Nerdgasm Instagram page to see all the nominations for best and worst. So honestly,
People, you should submit.
yes, please. I would say probably by the end of the month, let's say, just to be safe, let's say beginning of May, we can expect that. So not August, which is the goal.
It's the goal. Big goal.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm really excited too because I've kind of neglected Nerdgasm for the last 2 years too.
Well,
so
yeah, whatever. You've been in school, so like it's not.
yeah, but I'm gonna go hard. It's gonna be a good nerdies.
Yeah.
It's the 8th one too, which is nice. Like it's crazy. So gonna have fun with that. But yeah, and also too, when you're on the page after you've subscribed, you can see all the previous years and get an idea of what the show's like.
And all the other fun stuff that you do at the Nerdgasm.
Yeah, we got gaming reviews, movie
For
reviews.
a name like that, are you going to break into like Charles After Dark like Martin wants to?
Yeah,
Martin in the tub.
Yeah. I think when the Real Debaters launches, when there's Real Debaters Plus.
Okay.
I think that's when we'll have Martin in the tub and the Nerdgasm will officially break into like OnlyFans status and yeah.
I'm sure I could find a body part that I'm okay showing on OnlyFans. Like her knees.
Show us your lightsaber.
Yeah. I'll show you the back of my knees.
Oh my God.
Right? I just nothing.
Hey,
more
Mike, your epidermis is showing.
I also know that Simpsons quote. Too,
Yeah.
actually. Your epidermis is showing. Technically, it is because it's your skin. Okay, cool, awesome. And listener, like for all this stuff, like thank you for putting up with our self promotion and shit here. But like you can find it all in the show notes. We call it the Debaterverse here, where like you go to the link in our bio on our Instagram, or Facebook, or Twitter, and everybody's stuff is there. So if like you're a dodgeballer in the world, and like Emily's a dodgeballer, Charles has a YouTube channel, Martin and Jimmy do stand-up comedy, Mark has comics, I am the show, Rob will answer all your audio video questions. Like there's some other things here if you want to learn about. So link in bio, show notes, all that stuff, you can find it there. So that's about it. That's all we got for shit coming up at the moment, which means let's talk about all the fun stuff. Martin, start us off. What'd you watch this week?
I don't know how much I could talk about it because Charles hasn't seen it.
I know, and
I'm
in
so
the same,
sorry.
Okay, here let's
sorry.
see how well we can do
God
it.
damn it, Charles.
Charles, and you said you were going to binge this. For listener,
I am.
Charles said he was going to watch Fallout Boy.
I am.
Or Fallout Boy.
I think I'm watching it all this weekend.
That's what happened. I listened to Fall Out Boy. I listened to all their albums.
You got the wrong
I was
Fallout.
so confused. So goddamn confused.
These albums are from early 2000s.
Watched all their music videos. There's no apocalypse.
Okay, Martin. You tackle Fallout first. What are your thoughts so far?
Can I ask you guys this? Is
Okay.
it based on any specific game directly, or is it based
It's
on...
based on the
That's a
timeline. It's canon on the timeline.
Okay, so that's really cool.
I've
That's
never
really
played the
cool.
game, so I'm reviewing this from the outside.
I don't even want to talk about when it takes place because it'll ruin it for you.
No, you can give him that stuff.
I don't think so. I've read some stuff. Like I heard the games never directly say what caused the event and when, but I heard the
They
show
do
does a little
in
bit
the
of
show.
Yeah,
Okay,
I heard the show gives, and I heard the show even gives a little bit of the origin of the boy, like the mascot thingy that does the thumb up.
Pip Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a little, which is cool. Like again,
Yep.
and again,
they allude to it, and like I don't know anything,
right.
so
right.
like it's fun because like
You'll
I'm-
know right away.
Yeah.
You'll know right away.
That's cool.
the ghouls.
Yeah, so
are
I'm
fantastic.
I'm a huge Walton Goggins fan. Like
So am I.
he's a genius,
Dude,
So
Walt G. That's
when
the
I-
new Walt.
Literally, what is
Yeah.
it, Baby Billy and Jeff Stones? That's one of my favorite characters.
Uncle Baby Billy is my favorite character ever. That's
Guys.
what my character name is on all my games.
So
Uncle
good.
Baby Billy.
He's so good, but yeah, like I just saw his like makeup transformation, and I knew a little bit about the role, and just knowing it, I'm like, I think I read something that said like he's like the Joker of this universe, and I'm like, just that idea of having him in a role like that, I'm like, awesome.
Yeah, he's like,
Awesome.
well, and like it, you know what they did here? We'll talk about how they made it instead of like plot points because yeah, it is still fresh for a lot of people. They took a page out of The Last of Us.
That's what I heard. I heard
They're-
it's like Amazon's answer to The Last of Us, basically.
Martin, would you agree that a lot like me and Shauna will look at each other and I'll be like, that's probably from the video game because I haven't played it.
Right.
But like the cut sequences that are part of the story in the game, like Martin, they are making it very obvious. Would that be a
Which they
correct
should.
assumption?
Which they should.
Well, they're taking from the source material, right? They're not
Good.
like doing. They're linking it to the actual games, which is what I think is great.
Awesome.
Because like remember, back in the day, producers would just make these video game movies without even consulting or doing this is what we want it to be.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed was just a pile of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Fassbender was the star, and that's like a waste of a talent
Totally.
for a shitty Assassin's Creed.
They burnt
Totally.
some graces.
So this one is like, all right, we're gonna keep it true to the fan base. We're gonna put a lot of Easter eggs for people who love the games, and then
Love it.
Yeah.
Which is great because then like Mortal Kombat movies are like, should we make them look exactly like how they do in the games? Fuck yeah. Should we
Gran
do this?
Turismo
the
did
production
Yeah.
value is amazing. The production value is great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. That's
They-
You feel
great.
like you're in the Fallout. You feel like you're in the Fallout universe when you're watching the show.
Awesome. See, and at the end of the day, if you're not going to do that, what the fuck is the point of adapting this? You know what I mean? Like, what is the point?
What-
You have
And
to
you know
honor
what?
the source material, man.
Go ahead, Martin.
One thing too that's really good is like we've all watched Shogun, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
We are.
Yeah,
Okay,
in the
so here's what-
process. In the process.
They both came out around the same time, and Shogun, the violence in Shogun is a little bit more. It's uncomfortable at times, right? The
Yeah.
violence is like a very uncomfortable moment. But
Yep.
here in Fallout, it's more violent, but it's lighthearted and it's
It
funny.
is.
It's like the game. It's very violent, but
Yes.
lighthearted and funny and silly.
So Lucy's
So it's not like-
character
yeah.
is completely naive, and that's part of the bit.
The one from Yellow Jackets, right?
Yes. the
Yep.
one from
Shout out to Ella Purnell,
Ella
baby.
Purnell, big
She
eyes.
is amazing.
Boy, she's fun to watch.
Love her.
She's she's very good
Lucy.
at like. She has developed this ability to be like completely stupid because she's so far removed because she's been in a vault forever.
Right.
And
Okay.
then,
Yeah.
But like at the same time, she takes care of business.
Yes.
And like her go-to like okie dokie is like is so much fun. It's the odd couple between her and Walton, like him as the ghoul and her. Like he knows the world, she doesn't.
Yes.
These things are a lot of fun.
Because if I've remembered correctly, and again, I believe
Talk to him, not play the game.
but the ghoul, he's been there since day one, basically. Like he's
One of the
He survived.
He's one of the longest surviving ones, and there is a catch to how they survive,
gotcha.
and that's part of.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and like they're long too. They're 48 to 59.
I saw a little bit of like the promo, like their marketing, and I saw one bit where it was like a black and white. It almost seemed like a commercial, and Walton Goggins wasn't the ghoul.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to spoil anything.
wanna
it was
spoil
cool.
that. I don't want to spoil.
But it was
that.
cool, and then I like, you know what I mean. I'm doing one of those things where I see a little bit. I'm like, oh no, but
That is
you
a
know what I
great
mean? Like,
episode. You know what? They're
but
also,
it's cool.
Martin,
It's cool.
Martin, tell them about how they're copying Invincible in the intros. Have you noticed that?
Which one was? Oh, with that. Oh, yeah. They're doing like. Well, they're not really copying Invincible, but they have like a different intro.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
cool.
Fallout logo each episode, depending on what the scene is.
That's sick. I
Yeah.
love
So,
when
like blood, bullets.
Yeah.
Sand. Like
I love
it
when they
all-
put a little bit of that extra effort in
Well,
to it.
okay.
You know what I mean?
There's a big reason why I think this is such a success. It's because Jonathan Nolan is producing and
Yes,
directing.
yeah.
Yeah, the guy from Westworld,
Yep.
dude.
And Amazon basically, I heard the way, because after Westworld, he did not want to go back into this.
I don't
But
think he wanted anybody at Warner Brothers in his life. Again.
No. But Amazon was like, you have free reign, sir.
Yeah. Dude.
You have free reign,
He
sir.
directed quite a few episodes too.
He
Yeah.
directed the first 3 to 4, I think.
Well, and
Yeah.
you know what gets me excited is, like, I'm not going to lie, when they announced that they were going to do a live action God of War show, part of me was excited, but then I was like, how are they going to do it well? And knowing Fallout, which is also outlandish and very big budget and blah, 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 and they're killing it, it's making me excited for... And they're also doing Tomb Raider live action. Amazon owns that now.
Well, yeah, because
So,
of MGM.
so it's making me excited though now because I'm like, okay, they're gonna hopefully treat it the same way they're treating the shows, whether it's a movie or another show. Just treat it like, please put the love and care the same way you would the Fallout show. You know what I mean? The Boys, Invincible. Just oh my god! So it's getting me excited.
Well, see, and Amazon is a different beast
Mhm.
in that when you compare apples to apples, you can compare Universal and Warner Brothers and be like movie studio versus movie studio. But when you compare Netflix to Warner Brothers or Amazon to Warner Brothers, you're comparing an app, a tech company, to a movie studio. Both tech companies have way more disposable income, in my opinion, than a movie studio does. And the risk in the environment in a movie studio is different than a tech company where Amazon's like, we have so much fucking money to burn. Do it.
Yeah.
Do your
That's the case. My only gripe with Amazon with the Fallout show is when did Amazon put ads on their fucking shows?
Yeah.
That's my only gripe.
Yeah, so if you pay $3 more a month, Martin,
Yeah.
No,
you can
come
get
on,
rid
Jeff
of
Bezos.
that.
Like, just don't go to space once a year. You know what I mean? Like, skip space 1 year and give us the fucking free $3 to watch ads.
Motherfuckers, if you guys really give a shit, and I know you don't, but this whole thing about global warming, stop going to space for fun. Do it because it's meaningful. Like
go back
every
to-
time
yeah.
you guys launch rockets, I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
imagine that's good for the atmosphere. So like,
But that's my only gripe. It doesn't have anything to do with the show. It has something to do with the company. That's my only
I discovered
gripe.
that with Invincible, the second part of the season. I forgot, and they sent me emails, and I was like, "What the?" And I was outraged, and then deleted them. And then I experienced it. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that was a really mean. Like, if you don't pay more, as opposed to you could pay less if you want ads.
Well, and you know what's awful? I was an asshole, and I paid the year subscription because it is a deal.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't give a fuck. They're still like, no. Now on top of that, pay $3 extra a month.
So we'd like
and then we'll
$35
take,
more.
Yeah, like assholes. Fuck me. Fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Martin knows how close to the game it is. I've been told to start with Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 4
That's
if
what
I'm
I've been
going to
hearing.
play the game,
Yeah.
which I kind of want to play the game now. But like you made a good point about like making to do God of War. If I was playing it yesterday, if God of War does proper where their kill sequences go from gameplay to double tap O, if they do that in the show, you will feel like you're playing the game.
Yeah.
Just like in Fallout, when they look at their device on their arm, it looks like the screenshot from. Like I know that much.
That's
it's
so cool.
from the game. So like they're giving you the same.
Yep.
It's like they took those cut sequences in the game and they expanded that into a story. And
See,
that's
one of my favorite parts.
Go ahead.
Is and it's not going to spoil anything, but there's a cameo, and the cameo is Michael Rappaport.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And like the night system, I love the night system.
Well, and what I like about Fallout, like, and I haven't even seen it yet, but what I think Fallout can do and get away with, The Last of Us can't, is if Last of Us can't really do an episode where they have like the ammo meter or something that's a real shout out to the video game, right? Because then you're like that.
Yeah.
They're going the dramatic side, which makes sense because that's Last of Us. But with Fallout, I feel like you said, when she looks at her thing and that's like right out of the. They can do that, and you know what I mean, and
You
they
have
can get away
props,
with
you
that,
have- yeah.
because it's like, oh yeah, that's the game, and this is having. It's like if they ever actually get going on a live action BioShock something, they should do it like that, where it is like the game, because in the game it's super violent, but it's kind of comical in a way, because it's so like. There's literally a little girl that you're helping, and she's like, "Good job," and you just like slaughtered someone. Like, as long that's what I'm saying, they got to keep the essence of like what it is. Then I think it'll. Like, I'm excited to watch, and I'm not even super into the games yet. So,
Martin, final thoughts before we move on.
I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome that they already announced that too. That's great.
I mean,
Can't wait for
that
season
means
2.
enough streams have hit. That means everybody's loving it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the Westworld in it, like his shot process and like his angles and everything. Like he loves big, wide background.
He likes the big wide angles.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
the drone shot.
Yes.
It makes sense though, right? Like, it's a beautiful world that he makes. So
You
like,
need
show
to
that
show
baby.
you need to show the world.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't-
the Dune shots, you know, like
Exactly.
show it off, show
Yeah.
how beautiful this is, and like, yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to, and it's all out, right? They uploaded everything at once.
Yeah, it's all out.
All
Oh
done.
my
They did a
God,
full
that's
dump.
made for me, baby.
They did a full dump.
Oh yeah, I'm disgusting. They'll be like 8 hours. They'll be like, cool. I have nothing to do for the next 8 hours.
Martin, right now, I'd say I give it like an 8.5 nose jobs out of 10.
I'm giving it. What am I going to give it? I'm going to give it 9 super duper marts out of 10.
Love it. Funny thing,
yeah.
and I'm excited to bring this out now. I got a mystery box at Comic-Con.
Nice.
And it has
Your little Pit Boy?
yeah, and it's official merch, and it's like a model, like a not a Funko, but it's like that material.
Oh,
but it's like the
sweet.
actual. Yeah. So
Yeah,
now
yeah,
I'm gonna bring that baby out because I'm like, cool.
I think I have a Pit Boy at home in Winnipeg.
That's
My Winnipeg-
awesome.
my
It's
parents'
cool. It's so
I
cool.
bought Fallout 4 or Fallout 3, the special edition. It came with a Pip Boy.
That's
I
wicked.
think I have it somewhere.
And that's what they wear right in the vault. Is they're wearing those jumpsuits?
Oh, those jumpsuits
Yeah.
are good looking.
So I
costumes.
did
Dude,
play.
how many Halloween Vault 111 costumes are going to be around this
Oh
year?
my God, I'll be 33.
I'm getting one.
I'll be
think
33. I have no
played.
problems.
I think I played the beginning of Fallout 3 or 4, but anyways, the beginning is you're in the pit and it's taking you through, and Pip Boy is like the instructions come up,
he's like
and it's
your
Pip-Boy is
Microsoft
like
paperclip.
yeah, and he's like there, and that's like your thing to like. You're doing great. Keep
Well done.
going.
Keep going.
Yeah,
You're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
Dude, these ball costumes are insane. There's like one for $219.
Holy
God.
shit already.
You know what I can't wait for is just because you know what's going to happen. Guy and girl version, the slutty version. You know, there's a slutty Sweet Tooth from like Twisted Metal. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just like a girl with a ripped shirt and a clown mask.
These are the things that when I know they look back on our history, they'll go, they made every costume slutty. Why did they do that?
Shakespeare got weird in this era.
Yeah, right?
These are their costumes.
Jesus Christ. Look what these people used to wear. Martin, anything else before we move on? Any honorable mentions you watched this week? Any bullshit?
Watch Shogun if you're not caught up. Holy fuck.
I'm so
I
excited.
can't talk enough about this show. The last episode 9 was insane. If you thought episode 8 was insane or episode 7, episode 9 is even crazy.
And it's only season 1. I love it.
There's only one season. There's only one season.
It is. It's just a miniseries.
Well, it's based off the book.
Oh, okay. So someone told me that.
We won't
but
be
I
getting a
wasn't
season 2.
Oh, okay. Which is kind of sweet because then that means it's just incredible from start to.
It's been done 3 times. It's been done as a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done as a miniseries in the 70s, and now it's being done again.
Okay,
This
cool.
is I've looked at the other 2. The movie's good, but
Yeah.
I think like this is what Game of Thrones should have been given for the last 2 seasons.
That's the
Double crossing,
even by
the
the-
politics, everything about feudal Japan. Like I want to exist and watch it all happen. It is the most interesting, mind-fucking era of all time.
I have a very funny thing for you guys, and you guys will laugh at how funny this is. So obviously the casting is really good.
Cosmo
Cosmo's
the best.
on the Japanese side. But the Portuguese casting, sometimes I look at Claudia's like, calm. I'm like, now I get it. When a British guy is supposed to be like a blah, blah, blah. Because then they say like Portuguese and I'd be confused. I'm like, who's the Portuguese? And Claudia's like, that guy. And I'm like, but he's British. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. This is dumb.
This is Napoleon.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I get it. This is why. Yeah, okay. Because
totally Napoleon.
I've never really watched anything other than like, that's like Hollywood made, other than Silence by Scorsese, that was like a Portuguese influence.
Okay, so you've never seen it where
so I will
like
say
Sean Connery doing it. You're just like,
right,
why?
right. So it's one of those things where I was like, wow, I'm excited for my dad to watch this, but I will have to like, he'll have some heat for like a minute. He'll be like, what? And then he'll get over it because it's amazing.
Well, and like, okay, not every like
I have to say the mayor from The Dark Knight plays the Portuguese,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
He's great.
Oh, yeah.
His accent's great. He's really. I don't know.
I believe he is.
I don't know if he is Portuguese, but
he-
he's making me believe it. He's really good.
That's the dude from Lost too.
Yes, yeah, he is. He's in Lost
That's
too.
where
yeah,
I throw him from.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I believe he's Spanish. So,
But he's doing it well.
Yeah,
he
he
like
is.
he's because when they say and the way he says like Rodriguez and everything, like he says it with the Portuguese accent, he's giving me faith.
are you giving it
And then-
the Charles Portuguese authority?
Oh yeah, no. I told Claudia, I was like, I don't know if this guy's Portuguese, but he's a good actor because I believe he is.
Well, and there's that
So-
one section where they're like, "Oh, I see you speak Portuguese." I'm like, "Everyone's speaking English."
Yeah, so Claudia had to explain that to me. I was so confused. I'm like, when are they going to speak Portuguese? She's like, no, they are. And I'm like, what?
It's just,
And then, yeah.
It's just a lot to have 3 languages tracked.
Yes.
No,
In
I
this
get
show,
that.
it's just too much.
Also, it's also.
Because then I thought I was like, "Do I speak Portuguese?"
Are we all Groot?
Yeah.
Do I
Am I
understand Groot now? No, it's like, but it's also one of those things where I commend them because if that's the deal break, like, oh, we only want an actress that can speak Japanese, English, and Portuguese. It's kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that's the deal break where they're like, we'll just make the Portuguese everyone speaks English because we can guarantee that, then cool. Yeah. But yeah, Claudia had to explain that to me because I was waiting. I'm like, they keep saying they're going to speak Portuguese, but like, when is it going to happen?
Well, and like when
It's happening right now.
Yeah,
my
Claudia's
friend.
like, this is the Portuguese. And I was like, oh.
please
Right.
help me with the pronunciation of our lead, the Lord
Toranaga.
Who is it
yeah.
that plays him?
Hiroyuki Samada.
Oh, you're talking
the guy
about,
from Last Samurai.
You're talking about Scorpion?
Yeah.
Like in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
Scorpion.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's fucking credible. Yeah. If Akira Kurosawa was alive, still making movies,
You'd be using him.
He would be in every single fucking Akira Kurosawa movie. Everything.
I did recently, which will be coming out for listener in the future. We just did the recording for Fascination Film Festival with Alan Wong and Ian Bao. Ian came back on the show. He's finally back in rotation. And with that said, Finding Diamonds is out there right now.
Oh, it's so good.
Go get your heart broken about.
Yeah, it's a good cry.
Support pets. Ian and Diamond went on the road and made a 6-episode miniseries on
and they're
CBC Gem.
They're like 15-minute episodes, and they're fantastic. They're really great.
You'll bring a box of tissues. But anyways,
yes.
We did the Fascination Film Festival episode where we just like gloated and doted over all eras of film. And I had watched Seven Samurai since I was,
beautiful movie.
Forced to by a parent. And then looking back, and I was like, George Lucas, you fucking pirate. Like,
you
stole everything.
Oh, yeah.
But you're right. They would be using him, and like he is just stoic and cool. Like when he pops out of the carriage and you don't expect him when he sends his family away. But then he goes with them, thinking this all art of war shit. I'm just like, the most brilliant war tactics in the history of battling countries is being laid out in front of you.
It's also like, and like I just love, like, I'm a sucker for
the samurai are just a different beast.
Yeah, like the historical aspect, and just it's like anything that's like Egyptian, Roman, samurai, I'm in. I'm just in. I'm so fascinated by those cultures and those time eras and everything. It's such an amazing piece to like just take out of history and be like, hey, let's look at and it's just so beautifully done. Like, it's amazing. Like the first episode alone, what an amazing pilot for anything.
Crazy.
And the whole emotional aspect, when that guy's like drowning by the fucking rocks, that whole sequence is like, and it's something as simple, like if that was a video game, that'd be a 30-second thing, because you'd be like,
that guy's my favorite character.
Yeah.
Yabushige is my favorite character.
That actor, he's in Thor. I'm pretty sure he is in, he's Raiden in the new Mortal Kombat movies.
Tanaga's right hand. The
one that was like drowning by the rocks that like was gonna.
He's about to kill himself.
Yes.
He's He's the new Raiden in the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Really?
And he's Thor's dude that gets killed by Helena, whatever, in Ragnarok. Like he was part of. He was part of Thor's original crew, because it was Ray Stevenson, it was the chick, and then the only Asian dude in his crew. That's him. It's the same actor.
Everybody,
and he's incredible. He's so good.
That's Ken Watanabe's son too.
In
it, who plays the one of the Five Lords, and then what's her face from Monarch
too
is in it too. It's like
Anna Sawai, baby.
Yeah, she's
Boy,
awesome.
She's great.
So you guys are gonna laugh. I saw Shogun first. So then when I watched Monarch, I had no idea. And I was like, whoa!
Yeah,
holy shit, she has so much range already in just these two roles.
And
like,
she's English.
That's another thing that blows my mind.
Hides that accent
incredibly well.
Martin, thank you for being
Show's
the
a
first
masterpiece.
and, like pushing it on all of us, because it's brilliant.
Also, anything, and I love that there's this. It's a popular thing. Like there's a lot of samurai games coming out now where they really didn't have any. There's a lot of samurai, like they're coming out with a Ghost of Tsushima movie. So like
Asian cinema, being in the room last week, it's a huge, like it comes in waves.
Yes.
It's been coming in waves for like 60 years.
Oh yeah.
But right now it's hitting differently because it's not token. It's genre. Right, it's everything everywhere all at once. It's past lives.
And what's neat is we're now giving more appreciation to the Japanese filmmakers. Like, yes, Godzilla in the 50s was a big deal, but it's amazing that they made a Godzilla in 2023, and it was almost a bigger deal in a way because America had be like.
Martin's just sitting there laughing, being like, "I told you, fuckers."
But yeah, no, it's just
this guy's looking that way, that guy's looking this way, and this guy's like, "What do you want from me?" I had to do a little bit of Goodfellas quote there.
Well placed,
that was
well
great.
placed, sir.
That
See
was
that we were talking on the movie quote episode, inserting movie quotes into everyday speak. I can't fucking do that.
Yeah,
I can quote roll with you and just start doing all of Forrest Gump, but I can't be like, stupid is as stupid does in common everyday speak. Like,
I annoy Claudia with stuff like that.
I know you do. I'm not surprised one bit. Charles, what did you watch this week?
Oh man,
what do you want to talk? You want to talk? Because we can talk the same on some shit. We can talk.
So it's funny you mentioned that, just because. So I watched a new season of one of my favorite reality shows.
Are you embarrassed by this, or are you proud?
No,
of
I
this?
like this one, and I know this one's lame, but I like it.
They're all lame
and
in their own little way.
this one's really lame, but I like it because I'm like, this is one I could play.
Oh,
It's one of the only ones where I'm like, I think I could actually go on this and actually like fuck shit up a little
Okay.
bit. It's called The Circle. It's on Netflix. It's a social media. It's like a social. Basically, like people are locked away in an apartment, and you do everything through a chat. Everything's through chat, but you can see each other's profiles. You can see each other's photos, but there's no proof that that's who I am, other than I'm telling you that's who I am.
So it's catfish.
Basically, yeah. So, and you compete and whatnot. But what's neat is in the latest season, one of the players is 100% AI. The images are all AI
Are
generated.
you watching a Turing test happen in real life?
Well, I like that. You guys know how I feel about AI, but this I'm into because I'm like, I hope people watch this and understand like
the dangers.
we
of
need
it?
to pump the brakes on this shit. Yeah, and like one of the contestants is falling in love with this AI because they think and then the game let everyone know there's an AI, and everyone's like, it's got to be this chick. And this chick's the only one that's like real. And no one likes her. And the AI thing, everyone's like, Max is the best. We love Max. Max is an OG, and it's just fucking hilarious. It's a social experiment. And I like that shit because I find it very fascinating that if people are told something, how some people believe it no matter what, and then other people are like, huh? And just seeing that all come together. So that's been really, really fun. And it's on Netflix. It's great. They had a season where Baby Spice and Scary Spice came in and catfished, and they played as one character. And what's cool is, when people, they block when you get kicked off. So the way they do it is they're like, okay, players, rate who's your favorite person right now. And whoever gets on the bottom, unanimously averaged, they get blocked. So what they've done in seasons is the person that gets blocked can go in person because they're all in the same apartment building. They're just they're not on the same floor, basically. So when you get blocked, you can go and confront anybody that's playing and be like, let's see if they're real. And you go to their apartment and they have to open the door. Or they'll do it the other way around where it's like, hey, so Mike, you're the influencer this week.
Damn right I am.
You have to block someone, but you have to go do it in person. So if you want to block Steffi, you got to go knock on her door and block her.
Sorry.
And what's neat is
Steffi, you have been blocked.
So, but what's funny is like they did that to a character. They didn't like this woman, or like they were just like, she's lame.
Yeah,
and then it was two of the Spice Girls. And when they went, they were like, what is going on? And they're like, hey. Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's hilarious. Like it's really random and whatnot.
I wanted to be your lover. What
happened? No, and then they
happened?
realize they're like, oh fuck. Yeah. It's really fun. Like
I totally zig-a-zig-odd.
there's one season where Lance Bass goes on, but it's not Lance Bass, it's his assistant. So she knows everything. And there's somebody there's people that are so young that they're like, what's NSYNC? And then there's people that are old enough that they're like, I know enough about Lance Bass, blah, blah, blah. And then she has to be like, oh, fuck, I got to remember
you did
what
go
this...
to the moon.
Yes, yeah, like stuff
Or
like
almost.
that. Again, super lame, but I love it.
I need to defend. Super lame.
I eat it up.
Martin, would you watch something like this?
If Lance Bass is still with Al Pacino, booty sweat, I'm in.
That's the best. Yeah, he comes in and they play together. No, that, and then I watched
Tropic Thunder.
True Crime Wise. I watched that
Jennifer's.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because I followed that when it was happening.
Canadian
Yeah,
thing.
big
right?
Canadian crime.
What is it?
Long story short,
Impossible with true crime.
this in Markham, so in
Markham,
Ontario,
yeah.
very close to Toronto. Yeah, this girl basically survived a home invasion, and her mom was murdered, and her dad was shot but survived, and she survived. But like the night of the home invasion, like her mom gets shot, killed. Her dad gets shot in a coma. She's the only survivor, and she's the only one.
He's in a coma at home?
He's in a coma, like rushed to the hospital, coma.
Oh, okay. So they're both shot at home. She's not.
She's not at
Okay,
all. She's bound.
Okay.
And left. And basically, it starts with, like, the doc starts with her first interview the night of. No, sorry, it starts with the phone call. So it starts with her calling 911, and it starts with the real audio of the phone call.
And she had come home and saw this.
So no, she came home and went to bed, and then woke up to hearing pops and screams, and then came running downstairs
And saw
and
it.
her parents were tied up, and then they tied her up, and then shot her mom in front of her, and then shot her dad in front of her.
Oh, this is like
And
funny
then-
games.
but it gets it ravels. It's not so.
There's more than.
Oh my god, that's like the opening 5 minutes, and then it's like something's not adding up here, and then something else isn't adding up here.
Something strange.
And then it's like by the end you're like, what? And like what's crazy is like I followed this when it was in our media when it was happening.
Sure.
And as you guys know, like Canadian media can be very secretive about very big murders and crime. Right. Like compared to
publication bans.
Yes. So
it all comes
trying to get their will.
So like there's a twist to this whole thing, and I knew the twist already, but I didn't hear the phone call. We didn't get to see the interview. They didn't release that to media.
Yeah, that was all.
This is like the first time they're making it, I guess,
because it would have
domain.
skewed the jury's opinion.
That's right.
Said
so, but what's fucked is it ends on another note where it's like, what? And you're like, man, the Canadian justice system is a fucking mess. Yeah.
Were there certain deals made, perhaps, that blow your mind?
It's not necessarily that.
Is
but
it like a Homolka thing?
Not to that degree, but it is in the sense of like how fucked up it gets and the reality of it.
What's it called?
Jennifer. What did Jennifer do?
What did Jennifer do?
Because you know what I know? It's eerie.
What did Jennifer do?
That's a quote from her dad.
Interesting.
Like that's what her dad.
So what you're
asked.
telling me in this, if I'm picking up what you're putting down, confirm this for Martin and me, is that maybe she'd done something and had to kill her parents to get away with it.
Yeah, let's just say it starts as a home invasion and then it turns into
home
something
invasion
that
gone wrong.
She might have been aware of this said home invasion.
Oh, like a setup.
Potentially.
Like a Craigslist hitman.
Well, because also it's interesting even just from like, and this is again in the first 5 minutes, the lead detective is like, this is a brutal crime. Why leave someone?
You don't want to leave a witness.
That's the big one.
Right.
And also what's interesting is like, and they show it in the documentary, the 911 call she made is while she's bound. Yes.
Interesting.
I use
and
my
again,
nose to dial.
what I like about these true crimes too, and I get it, it's because also the police are still seen in a negative way. Oh, and this is the thing I have to say. Canadian police though versus American, like they interrogate her, they interview her, and they get results. And the way they do it is not like, you did it, you're a murderer, you're a piece of shit. Like he's just
like an American
just keeps talking to her. He just keeps saying. He's like, Jennifer, I just need you to explain to me how you're able to make a phone call when you're bound. I just need you to just show me because I just need to know. How did you do it?
Well,
that's it.
And that's
it.
That, my friend.
He's not like, do it, you murderer. Right? Like,
my opinion on that is if I ask you in a nice way and you tell me, you're telling me whatever you tell me is either going to be a lie or not. So it's easier to get you to lie about it and then find out that you're lying than it is to beat you for an answer.
It's also, too, is like she is not an aggressive type. She's kind of she's a broken shell a little bit. So coming in and being like, murder, blah, 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 she could just go into the fetal position and like.
You lock up.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of it. But what I'm saying is what's neat is like they show rather than have like a lot of the doc is the real footage rather than them being like, we did this, this, and this, and then this. Like there is a little bit of that, but only when you need it to fill in the blanks that the like real footage can't.
Do not ruin this for me because me and Sean are going to watch
but
this
it's really
tonight.
good. Like I will say, and it's wild because it's like, wow, Canada is really kind of fucked up that they keep so much of this. Like, yeah, you don't need to worry about it.
Martin, you're notoriously known on the show for loving true crime. Are you going to watch this?
I think I'm going to skip this one.
Yeah, totally fair.
Yeah, no, I get it. We're going to order Sassy Thai tonight. It's a brand new Thai.
Just because I have PTSD from Markham, Ontario.
Sure.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
Don't need to be reminded. Fuck that shit.
It is weird, though, when you're watching a true crime and they say Markham, Ontario, and you're like, I've been there.
Well, I got to go there for the Asian store. Didn't they have that mall in Markham? Isn't that mall in Markham?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I would go. When I go to Toronto, I go to that Asian mall in Markham.
Yeah, Pacific Mall.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. I'll throw out what I got. Or how many? Okay, so you got.
I'll say I give
how
it,
many
like,
chatbots do you give the circle?
I mean, that's a fetish guilty pleasure of mine, Mike.
Thank you. Is there any slavery in it?
I mean, they're all locked in their rooms. No, it's
that's slavery.
How many bound and tortured contestants would you give it?
I give it 8. I give it 8 chatbots out of 10. It's a really fun guilty pleasure. There's moments where you want to pull out your hair because like listening to them be like, I love you. It's like, oh, kill me.
And how many nose dials do you give? What did Jennifer do?
Oh my God. Yeah. How many bound phone calls? Close. It's really well made. Again, like you don't feel great after true crime.
No.
But I'll say like in terms of how it's made and everything, they do. There's a really cool filmmaking technique in it that I haven't seen, and it's a cool way for them to show instead of just surveillance footage, they will actually cut to what the investigators will see, and it's like seeing it on the tube TV in the room in silence, and then it shows like the board they would use to go back and forth and stuff. So they do that a little bit rather than just seeing the same. So I liked that. I really appreciated it. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10 for sure. Like it's Netflix made. It's done really, really well. Oh, and they only use the Canadian broadcasting of the crime being talked about. They don't use any American or like international. So it's all CBC and
CTV,
like
global.
Yeah, so that was nice. Again, like
A channel.
Yeah, and that might be the agreement because
Right-wing
again,
media,
like from what I hear, it's a nightmare to do true crime that's focused in Canada stuff because of publication bans. So that might have been part of the reasoning.
Well, it's always got to be after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get to the theater this week.
What did you watch, Mike?
What did I watch? I watched Outwit, Outlast, and Outplay, ladies and gentlemen. I watched me some Survivor, and I know you have thoughts on this.
What is with the southern accent, Mike? Was there a lot of slavery on Survivor this week?
Well, they're all trapped on an island.
Yeah, they're all being forced to play a game.
They are starving.
Yeah. And I mean, it's in Fiji. I'm sure they were trading slaves over there at some point in the world. No.
Mike, they're all done in Fiji now?
Same island.
Oh,
They bought one
They
island.
bought the island.
They're not doing like because I remember the first few seasons they did like a bunch of different.
Yeah, like Thailand, the Outback. Yeah.
They totally did, and then some dude got burnt in Africa. Lions were like.
I saw that episode.
Yeah.
He fell asleep in the smoke and then fell.
No way. Get out of here. What?
So early
Yeah,
Survivor.
you didn't see that?
Okay, you can't really find early Survivor. In fact, it's really hard to go before.
We were looking. Yeah, and they only have like
New Era.
30.
Like New Era and Old Era. Old Era, like first Survivor. They were.
Jeff keeps saying New Era. What is like? It's like the Avengers, like after Endgame.
Yeah, it's a multiverse.
It's avant-garde Survivor.
Because again, like
I gotta make that T-shirt.
Like Martin, this is the first season of Survivor I'm watching through. Is the latest one. So
dude.
Okay.
there's things, and Claudia has seen, I guess, Old Era or whatever.
Yeah.
So she'll tell me things. She's like, "Oh, this is not okay. This is new." or-
Okay, like
I've only seen old era Survivor. That's what I've seen.
So Old Era Survivor was, I guess, what they say
Wild.
is- well, it was wild because
It's like classic Coke.
yeah,
Had cocaine in it.
it had yeah.
Yeah. Until someone got burned, we did whatever we wanted.
Oh, dude, the dude he legit he was so tired that he inhaled a bunch of smoke and collapsed into an open fire.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He had
And
to be choppered out.
it's off camera, but the camera's on the group watching. and
Oh,
then
so
they
you
pull-
see them
you see
reacting,
them react.
which is kind of horrifying too, because you're like, "What's going on?"
You can see the melted skin when he's getting choppered out.
Yeah, and like,
So that's a bad
okay,
injury.
just imagine.
Did
like,
they finish that season?
They did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like they've never canceled the season.
Oh
They had
God.
a guy. They had a
Steve
guy,
is dead.
They had.
They're like the post office, neither rain nor shine nor snow
Yeah,
nor
yeah.
sleet.
They go. They go.
We're going.
Well, and now they go back to back. They make 2 seasons
A year.
consecutively.
Yeah, right.
They all live on the island, and they come home and edit. Like the tricks that but like New Era versus Old Era. Here's an example. Old Era would have rice and you know, like
That's
you
it.
you'd have to scavenger, but it would have rice. New Era, no rice. You have to find food.
Yeah, like Claudia told me in the Old Era, like they would get she's like they wouldn't have logs pre-cut and shit.
New Era,
Yeah,
have
she's
to make your own. New Era, make your own shelter. Old Era, pre-cut, ready to go, put together.
Yeah,
like star building
Yeah,
materials.
yeah.
Ready
So
to assemble.
So she was telling me that, and I'm like, yeah. Again, like there's still the element, like in the New Era, you can see they're still like starving and they're all fucked up still.
But
like,
New Era, 26 days.
It's safer. It is safer.
Old Era, 39 days.
It's also liability. Like they probably had to pay that guy out. Even though it was his fault.
Dude,
they probably still had to pay that
dude,
guy out a lot of money.
That's 2003.
That he burnt himself?
That's
wow.
Survivor's 99.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Survivor aired in 99. The first guy to win just played naked.
Richard.
Yes.
I remember
Richard.
that. They made a big
Richie
deal.
Rich.
They made a big old deal because he was gay,
Yeah.
and he talked about it, and that was like, what? And then he walked around naked. And people were like, what?
Old era.
He showed the world his dick.
Yeah, he showed the world his dick and then won $1 million.
old era.
He was really good at spearfishing.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
that's right. That was his thing, right? Yeah. And he
Old-
was a doctor, I think, or something. Yeah.
Old era had like money that they would give you, and you could like eat weird things. Old era had some Fear Factor combined into it.
Okay, yeah.
because it was coming up in the first era of big reality.
Yeah.
Old era
Well,
had
it was
meal-
the first big reality. That was
It
the
really
first
was.
big
I
reality.
think so, right? Like it's
There's-
like the
there-
OG, I would say.
there'd
Like
been
Real World was like I think considered the first.
But even before that, there
Yeah.
was a show in the 70s that was doing what would it be like to video a family and
Oh yeah, like follow a actual not actors kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
so this is the big one, I guess. Like that and American Idol probably are owed a lot
Oh
to
yeah.
format.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
so
I think
this
Survivor was before American Idol, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that was what
so-
made
yeah.
Fox then be like, let's do American Idol probably because
100%.
Survivor was huge.
100% because Nigel Dawes or Nigel Lithgow is Survivor.
Oh yeah,
Well, Nigel Lithgow is
X Factor and
but he's
Americans.
He's British Idol. American
Yeah,
Idol.
and so you think you can dance and
so
all
you
that
think-
shit.
But American Idol came off of Britain Idol.
The British one, yes,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
but
yeah.
the big place. Anyways, but
Yeah.
this Survivor, there's a gentleman named Q. If you've been following, listener, Q. I like Q. I am a big fan of Q.
You do, eh?
Until Q lost way too many calories and started acting a fool.
Yeah.
Remember Jelinski, Martin? Remember when we told you about Jelinski?
Oh yes, I do remember
God,
Jelinski.
they still make
Okay.
fun of him. Several.
So in the first three episodes or first episode, Jelinski thought that several meant seven. He literally thought several was translated to 7 people or 7 things.
So if someone says several, they actually mean 7.
When Jeff says several on the show, no matter how many times it's happened,
Yeah.
they all go 7
Yeah.
in honor of Jelinski
Yeah.
and make Jeff break. Like it's a
And
running gag.
the last episode was the best break he had because he went 7 minutes, people, and they went several, and they're like dying.
Yeah.
They're like on this podium shaking, and they're like several, and then Jeff was like, yeah. It was so funny. It was so funny.
Q has this huge thing where he feels he needs to be responsible for everything he does in his life, including messing up in tribals and Survivor and challenges. So he literally went in to tribal and like what they say, Martin, now is live tribal. Before you would go in with a vote set. You'd walk in, you know exactly who's going home. They would argue their case, they'd go home, and that's it. The new stuff, which is just game evolution, is you can go in, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, Jeff, can we have a moment? And that's where it becomes a live tribal, as they call it.
Okay.
Where you are only given clips of them forming their vote.
Right.
Then the vote that was formed scrambles. It's a scrambled play.
Yes.
It's a blitz.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the quarterback being like, shit, and then everyone gets into these tiny groups. And Q literally said, I need to go home this week. You should vote me out. I messed up. And everybody looked at him trying to figure out why. And they ended up voting out somebody completely different.
Yeah,
and
random.
not casting a single vote for Q for
Yeah.
fucking up the tribal.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much who was going home anyway. I thought it was Tevin. Tevin is too charismatic.
He is. He's too nice. He's too nice.
He's
of it.
also Canadian too. Like he's,
Yeah.
he's
And he just hates Venus. Like I feel like as soon as
Oh,
Venus is
yeah.
gone, he'll be done. Like he won't have any drive. Like what's driving him is Venus.
it is
Because he hates her.
This season, I mean, I can get into details of it.
Oh, but Q also spent the whole episode
Yeah.
manipulating everyone. He's like, we should vote out Tiffany. We should vote out so-and-so. And then everyone's like, yeah. And then all of a sudden at the tribunal, he's like, you should vote me. And everyone's like, what's going on? Like,
when you cause a live tribal to happen, it pisses everybody off because it can people can throw their shot in the dark. People can start using immunities that they weren't planned. Like you want to go in as fucking locked as possible.
Yeah.
And like he also was like he's been trying to play hide and go seek since episode 1 with everybody, Martin. And finally when they merged, he was like, we should play hide and go seek. And he's from Mississippi, so he's got this big Mississippi accent.
yeah.
It sounds like he sounds like
he's
Bobby
also
Boucher.
a real estate agent. So he just has sales brain.
Oh yeah.
So everything he does, like as soon as they're playing hide and seek, he's like, whoever puts too much effort into hide and seek, I don't trust. And it's like, you're going crazy. You need food.
Yeah.
Like you're losing your mind right now.
I just watch Survivor.
It's good. It's really good. It is really good.
If you have gotten off the Survivor train because of previous stuff, This year's Survivor, the last 5 years averaged have probably been like 85% of it's been really good. There's been
Someone told me to watch last season. They said last season was insane.
there's
Like the one before the one we're watching.
Oh,
right
this
now,
one,
they
yeah,
said is
well,
wild.
And then you also should listen to the companion podcast. Maybe you've heard me talk about this
That's right.
before. They bring Jeff on. It's two people who
Jeff.
played. Jeff will tell you things that you'll never even think Jeff would talk about.
Man.
Jeff, like this week's episode is great because he's like, we've called people, and then they call us back a week later, and it's like, sorry, we've moved on. Like,
Yeah.
you were it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
We
yeah.
had to replace you with someone else, and it's like, pick your phone up. Like,
Yeah.
He says more often than not, people do not pick the phone up when we call.
That's so funny.
They've just moved on with their lives, and that's that.
Yeah.
So, but this year's Survivor, it's very good because everybody's playing. They're all they're all like, when you get to see like 4 or 5 different groups having conversations instead of 7 people against 2.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because that's where shit can break. That's where you can go to a live tribal and fuck shit up.
I hate Liz. I hate her. She drives me nuts.
Martin, Liz
She
is a
just
millionaire.
started
She
playing.
doesn't need to be there, and
I hate
she is
anyone like
just
that.
Arrogant as fuck.
Yeah, she's no better than what's his face. I'm here for the million likes. It's the same bullshit.
I'm
It's the same
here.
You can imagine what she looks like right now.
Yeah,
She looks like Karen.
yeah.
never
Like,
seen the show.
But I'm here for Hunter.
oh, Hunter is a monster. He's already won, in my opinion.
Dude, so when they do this hide and go seek thing, Martin, it's brilliant. What does he do? He hides in the tree that the shelter's built around.
Yeah, like he's
And
above
nobody can
them.
find him.
Yeah,
He just sits there the whole time.
And then
wins.
you know how he makes them find him? They're all underneath the shelter, and they're like, damn, where is he? And he starts throwing things on top, lightly. So they're like, oh, damn! Like, it's ridiculous.
Hunter's
Yeah.
story is I was going to be a doctor, but then I went to go like be a camp counselor and love teaching kids. So I quit being a doctor, became a teacher. But what I use is
Engineering.
I
He
use
has an engineering degree.
What I use Survivor to teach my kids. So I make puzzles, I make challenges,
Yeah.
I make all these things
Yeah.
that I then have to practice consistently to get good at.
Yeah.
And then when I go on the show, Martin, the last challenge was a giant post. They had to climb to the top of the post. It's like 15 feet off the ground. They had to hold themselves there. It's impossible. They have no grip.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They just have little indents that they can, like, put a toe.
So Hunter is hanging on. The longest challenge this has ever gone is 2 hours. Hunter's hanging on. Finally, it's down to him and somebody else. I think
Charlie.
It
Him
was
and
Charlie.
Charlie.
It was him and Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie ends up sliding down the pole. Hunter lets go and then falls backwards with his legs crossed
He does
around the pole.
You know, he does the stripper thing. You
Yeah.
know when strippers wrap their legs around and they arch their back,
Yeah.
behind? That's what he's doing.
and then hangs there for another like 2 to 3 minutes having a conversation with everybody, being
Yeah.
like, I was waiting to save this move.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck are you?
And what's weird is he never he flexes in the craziest ways because he doesn't talk a lot. He's not a drama guy. When the whole thing was going on with Q, he was literally like, I'm over this, and walked away.
Yeah.
Like, he left them. They were all freaking out, and he just walked. He's like, I don't care.
super
And he
huge
was the only
introvert.
one that voted for the first person from day one. He's like, I heard Venus 12 hours ago. I've heard 1,000 other names. I'm sticking with the one from 12 hours ago. And he was the only one. Like, everyone, it was the most random vote. And he was literally, because he's like, I don't give a shit about all this drama that's... I have to say, one of the funniest things about this episode, too. So, Martin, they end the episode still where it shows the clips of them, like, holding up their vote to the camera. Literally, this one, everyone's like,
I don't know what to do.
yeah.
One
One guy wrote it and just went, who cares, and threw it in because they were all so angry with what Q did. Charlie's was the best. He just looks at the camera for like 30 seconds and he's like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I here? Why do I need to do this? It was so funny.
Listener, all you need to know is just go watch some Survivor if you've ever
Still
been
good.
a fan. I give this several stars out of 10.
Eight Jelinskis.
Eight.
That is not enough for me to break out of retirement of reality TV. I need at least 9.5 Jelinskis to watch
great.
to get back
Several
in.
9.5 Jelinskis. That's
Several
great.
Jelinskis for this episode.
Oh, he's such a fucking idiot. He sabotaged a mission because he thought they couldn't do it in 7 hours because he was like, several is 7. We can't do this.
We
in
don't
7
have
hours.
enough time. This is fucking moron. I loved it. So there you go, listener. There's a week of some television and some shit you should watch. Television's in the golden age of television, gentlemen. I think. I mean, movies are movies, but television's really getting that budget. It's really getting that treatment. long, it's fun to watch more.
I am more excited for television now. Than I have been.
I mean, movies are movies. They'll never go away, but it's just
because TV is now being taken on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? And like, I still feel like it's because TV is still kind of they still have this idea that cinema dominates, but slowly it's like cinema's BlackBerry right now, and slowly TV is iPhone, and they're coming.
I legit think Game of Thrones changed the world of TV.
I agree with you.
I agree. It set a new standard of like, if you're going to do a spectacle on
budget,
TV,
like huge
this is
budget.
what you do.
Warner Brothers said, let's throw $100 million budget at a TV show.
And look at Amazon, the Lord of the Rings show, insane.
$250
Fallout,
million.
Insane, right?
$125 million.
Right? Like, these aren't even, like, it was funny. These were laughable budgets before because you're like, what? Now this is just the standard. It's like, this is how you make things now.
We're going to do it for cheap. We're going to do it for $100 million, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard this. The Rock is filming. Sorry, just
go.
Random fun of trivia that I heard for movie stuff. The Rock is filming a new movie. I think they're filming it a lot of it here. It's him and Emily Blunt, and it's about. I don't know if you guys ever remember Mark Kerr from Pride and Fighting in Japan.
Yeah.
It's called this because they referred to him as the Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
So The Rock's playing him.
Get out of here.
That's 100%.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get on board with that.
And
that sounds cool.
But it's also A24.
Oh, so that's even better.
A24 is doing it, yeah.
So it's Jungle Cruise 2.
Yes, exactly. They bought it off Disney. No, that's
great. Anything A24 does, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I don't have to question it.
Little tidbit.
That's awesome. Cool.
He also invested in a shampoo company, I heard, too.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm like,
that's really funny.
He's like, if I had hair, I'd use this. Well, if I had a bigger dick, I'd be in porn. Like,
but what do you use for your scalp? There's no way you just use water. Don't you like do something with your scalp?
Yeah, he moisturizes.
So then do that. Make a company that does that, you moron.
Do you know what I want to know, Charles? Charles, I want to know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's debate time.
It's debate time.
Debate time.
It's debate time, brother.
At my signal, unleash hell.
Don't push it. I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Goldstein, give me a fat beat to beat my buddy's ass.
I know what kind of guy you were. I never would have agreed to work for you.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna fight? What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch you. Would you repeat it?
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
And speaking of all this reality TV, this is why we're here. We're here to tell you, listener, why we three think our idea should be the next big reality TV show. And if you've never done this before, we would love it if you did. At the end of these episodes, we have a voicemail line where you can like bring in your answer, tweak our pitches, insult us, agree with us. You don't even have to leave a real name. You could be like, I'm Hulk Hogan, and this is what I think. And I'll be like, sweet, Hulk Hogan called in. And it would be even funner if, you know what, it'd be more fun if you guys use movie character names.
Yeah, I think of just that scene with Waterboy calling Captain Insano.
Right?
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Yeah. How old are you, kid? 5, 6?
You, listener.
I'm 42 years old.
Here's what we're going to do. I don't know why I never thought of this before. Use your favorite movie character name and call in on the voicemail
as that character.
You don't even have to do an impression. Just be like, I'm Captain Insano.
Yeah.
And here's what I have to say about this. This would make our day. So the
That's
voicemail
great.
line's in the show notes. So at the end of this, if you have an opinion or an idea on it, please do that. So the premise of this is simply make up a reality television show, a cooking show, a challenge show, a love show. Who fucking cares? Reality television is brilliant in that
it's crazy.
It's genre-less.
Yes,
you don't have to. There's Swamp People is a reality TV
There's
show.
Unlimited opportunities.
Yeah.
Like between TLC and MTV, there's nothing untouchable.
Discovery. I mean, like, whoever thought that watching Crab Fisherman would be so interesting?
Yeah, Deadliest Catch.
Right?
Yeah.
Discovery Channel 1.0, Mythbusters.
Highway Toes. It's like the
Right?
deadliest toes in the world. It's actually insane.
And like we were saying earlier, like with like A&E with intervention. And,
Yeah. Oh,
and Duck Dynasty and like it's just
Pawn Stars.
right? Pawn Stars, right?
Oh my God, the Osbournes.
Brag
Storage Wars.
Kardashians.
Oh yeah, hip. That's all I remember from Storage Wars.
Oh, yeah. Octomom, the porno.
What is it?
Octomom, the porno.
Remember The Surreal Life? Was that the one? Yeah.
OC. Like, there is nothing off limits here, listener, and we're just telling you that because, I mean, slavery is the only thing that's off limits today.
God damn it!
Showing its ugly face. So we have played rock paper scissors, and prior to this, we have figured out the order of today's show. So Charles is at the top, I'm in the middle, and Martin is going to close you out here. So Charles, you have the floor. There was really no rules. So what is your what is your reality television show?
It's funny. I was telling Mike I had a hard time with this because I was going back and forth, and So I originally pitched an idea of like a superhero reality show set in the boys universe, but I'm pretty sure they've done that, and they've alluded
they did start it, but it didn't really. It was just to find.
The whole thing is a reality TV show.
It basically is,
right?
really?
Because they filmed them 24/7.
Yeah, that's right.
Go along on their bus.
Yeah, that's right. They had their hashtags that they had to like always say so that they could. That's right. So I was like, okay, maybe not that, but the idea I came up with. So this is a Canadian classic that I binge every couple of years. I forget about it, rediscover it, binge it, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a part of my life I love. Part of Canadian history. Kenny versus Spenny.
Yeah.
It's an absolute Canadian classic. It's outrageous. It's ridiculous. So I thought, you know what?
Tell a listener if they've never seen it, just what.
So Kenny versus Spenny is basically two idiots that live in Toronto. They're childhood friends, and they come up with a competition show where every episode it's who is the best something, who can do this. So like one episode is who can stay standing the longest. So
perfect example.
And they have 3 days. They have 72 hours to find a winner. And if they don't, they both get humiliated, and the crew picks what to do to them. Otherwise, whoever loses has to do a humiliation, and it's whatever the other one wants them to do. And they have to do it. It's the only way anybody gets paid. It's the only way they can ensure things. But similar to what we were talking about, early reality TV. This was like early 2000s showcase.
Yeah.
This was like Trailer Park Boys and Kenny versus Spenny was like their bread and butter.
Was Red Shoe Diaries also in it? No,
oh, yeah, that was showcase. Canadian made too. Canadian made.
Although they did play it on Bravo TV for a time.
Oh, yeah. Duchovny's like, I have some breaks in between X-Files. Sure. But yeah, no. So Kenny versus Spenny. So, and again, so Spenny is neurotic and just a fucking Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Always wants to play by the rules and always is telling the camera, like, this is my game plan, blah, blah, blah. Kenny is an absolute insane sociopath. And he finds the craziest ways to cheat. And the standing one, for instance, they both stay standing and then they do a standoff where the crew makes literally a square out of tape that is just big enough for their feet to be in, and the first one that steps out of it loses it. And before they get into the room, Kenny sees the crew put in the square. He picks Spenny's going to go in that one, and he puts itching powder all in his square. So as soon as Spenny steps on it, he's like, oh my God, I'm sweating. What's going on? And Kenny's like, yeah, me too. And then, yeah. So I thought of that, and I was like, you know what? How funny would it be if we did Batman versus Superman, but like that shit, where like maybe their superpower isn't necessarily an advantage. So like one would be like first one to quit an office day job loses, so they have to just not use powers in any way. So like he has to be Clark Kent for a day. He can't just leave to be Superman. He has to actually do his job and like do it, and then Bruce does too.
Bruce
and
has
it's
to
like
do business.
Yeah, like Bruce has to actually lead Wayne Enterprises for a full like weekend, and he can't fuck off or like get Lucius to do it or something. Yeah, so it's like stupid like that, and it's more mental for them. Like, and so like ones like that, or like they did a Kenny versus Spenny where it was like who could stay handcuffed the longest to each other. So I thought it'd be funny if they did that and Superman just goes through a wall. And like starts like half
Batman's arm off.
Yeah, starts like half murdering
Batman's arm.
Yeah, he does Mach 3 and it's just the arm off, and it's just him being like, ah! Yeah, so I thought that would be, and like each season could maybe follow, like it could be like first season is Batman versus Superman, second season could be like Wonder Woman versus Scarlet Witch, and there's no limits, like there's no we don't have copyright in this universe, so anybody, as long as you're a superhero, you meet the show requirements. But yeah, it would be things that it's like, as long as their power isn't necessarily an advantage, like it's more mental game and shit that they're not used to that they should. Like, first one to do their taxes properly wins. And he can't use Alfred. He can't use like any kind of assistance. No TurboTax.
He can't use Lois.
Yeah, I can't use Lois in any way.
Sorry, no, you can't print anything at the office.
No, he has to do it. Yeah, or even, change toner in the printer. They have 72 hours to change the toner in the printer without just the instructions that the printer gives in that shitty display. That's all they have, and they have to figure it out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it'd basically be that, and then I guess the satisfaction is we the viewer get to watch that. And then, it's same rules. Like, if Batman wins, he gets to humiliate Superman, and it can be whatever he wants.
Do we get... Hang on, I'll let Martin go first, here, and then I'll ask mine and see how well you do. Martin, the floor is yours.
I like it. I like superheroes. I'm excited to see, like, I like the idea of, like, how each season will be, like, a different pair.
Yeah.
And I like to see, like, they're like the odd couple pair, basically, and seeing what that goes on. Superhero reality TV shows, that'll be just, I don't even know where to begin with that. Like, it's a lot.
That's expensive.
I just picture the scene from The Boys, that orgy day that they had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay, and like, you're obviously Kenny versus Spenny, you're getting their everyday life, right?
Yeah, so and like part of it too is
figuring out how to do the challenge.
They're also living in the same space for the 3 days as well too. Like, they can leave the house, but they're also like in a home together, because that's like the theme of the show is they live together.
So it can't be in the Fortress of Solitude or the Batcave.
Or if he's in the Fortress of Solitude, then so is Bruce. Like, that's their...
Oh,
so they have to, like, they can decide on where together. So, like, if they do it in the Batcave, then Superman's agreeing
Bruce
as
Wayne
well,
living in a 2-bedroom apartment downtown? I don't think so.
Yeah, right?
We can't handle that.
One of my favorite pitches, too, was first one to parallel park properly wins.
In the Batmobile.
And Superman would just rip, like, the steering wheel, he'd just rip off and fuck.
He would just carry the car into the spot.
Or like blow it into the spot. But that's the thing, they can't use powers.
Or have a strongman
like even Bruce, like if Bruce has a huge advantage with like
tech,
one of his he can't. And Alfred, he can't use Alfred.
Like if they're
I think the funny thing would be in this case would be, instead of the superheroes, their alter egos, like their cover story play. That's what you get as a reality show, like Bruce Wayne versus Clark Kent.
Yeah,
because they can't use their powers anyways, right? So.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of what it is. It's like
this week on Superhero Showdown,
like
Bruce versus Clark.
Clark, you have to work at the Daily Planet for 72 hours straight.
No, Bruce, you have to work at the Daily Planet.
No, I would rather another thing that I would rather do, like from when you said that, I think a funny challenge would be Clark and Bruce. You have to work at this Starbucks for 72 hours.
Yeah. Like literally,
that would be a funny one.
And whoever gets fired loses. Like if one of you gets fired, it's an automatic
like
lose.
The undercover boss thing. Undercover superhero.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Yeah, and it would just be like things that for us, that's like, oh man, that's our daily life. But for them, they'd be so fucked up.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. And again, like a crew follows Batman and a crew follows Superman, and the crew can help Batman. The crew can help Superman in certain things, but like they can't use their abilities or their advantages like that they're used to.
Do you want any more time before you want my?
Oh no, that's it. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. And you can say this now, and I'm sure you'll have a great answer for it because I know you. But you didn't mention a host, and I'm.
They host.
I know they do, but for me, I want maybe
Robin. And he hosts every season.
Which one? The live one or dead one?
Nightwing or
Adam West Robin. I can't remember his name.
Ward?
Yeah, I want Burt Ward. Bring him back. Do a hologram, and Ryan Seacrest, just because you know.
Yeah, Ryan. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
like maybe like I watch Tournament of Champions, so there's always someone doing color commentary.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
So like maybe Robin does color commentary for Batman.
Yes,
and then Jimmy does color commentary for Superman.
That's good. Yeah.
But
I like that.
I like yours because it's what The Boys is. It's pulling the curtain back on
Yeah.
And pulling the curtain back in reality television is what we all crave.
Yeah, and I think also too is I like the idea of pulling the curtain on them too.
Yeah, literally pulling the curtain or the cape. So
pulling the cape on
pulling
them.
the cape, so to speak.
Yeah, pulling the cape. That's what we'll call it. Pulling the cape.
There's your title.
Pulling the cape.
Pulling the cape.
Yeah.
No, I dig it. No superpowers too, like how we do it on the show. We're like, if we do this.
Oh, my one thing was I don't know if was that the title of the show?
I didn't have one.
It's an afterthought. It's not. It wasn't during the presentation.
It's an assist from Mike.
Yeah. The name. Yeah. Okay. Well,
could just be Marvel versus DC, and that's the theme. It's always a Marvel character. And
and that's also a missed opportunity too. Is that you could have done Batman versus Iron Man, right?
Oh yeah, and we could finally settle this.
Right, you could settle some cross.
We're going for who's the better man.
Yes, right. Who's the better humanitarian?
Yeah.
Or like,
show us your dick.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
What's your fetish?
Yeah, in that Batman voice. Tell me your fetish.
No one said voices weren't allowed.
Slavery's wrong.
It's not a power.
Why so serious fetishes? Why are your fetishes so
Bruce
serious?
would be the Kenny, and Superman would be the Svenny, because Superman's the Boy Scout, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Superman would be the one looking at the camera and being like, I just want people to know I don't condone this behavior, but these are the rules of the contest.
This is what I
and
have
Bruce
to
would be in the
do.
background just spitting his coffee on his rule board.
Yeah.
You're wasting my time.
All right. So
What do you have, Mike?
One of my guilty pleasures is The Bachelor.
Oh yeah.
And it's just because I love watching Darwinism live. And like, I mean, most of the reality that I consume is challenge based. I like the glass blow off. Or blown away. Sorry.
So
blow
good.
off. That's a different network.
Great season, this latest one.
Right. And I like things that take people's skills and then you turn it into
Is it cake?
Is it cake? I watched it last night.
So good.
Right? Is it cake? Is it not cake? Is that bust cake? I don't know. Last night Mikey finally bit into the cake.
Oh yeah,
instead of cutting it, which was like, just bite it. But so I know that The Bachelor can bring down society. I know that it can put people together that shouldn't be together, and I thought maybe we should make a show that's more uplifting. So I'm making The Bromance. And it is inspired by one of...
Slap into base.
It is inspired by one of Paul Rudd and Jason Segel's best on-screen
and Lou
performance.
Ferrigno.
And Lou Ferrigno, which you asked Lou about, the strangling. My reality show is inspired by I Love You, Man.
Hell yeah.
So it's like a 12-week challenge.
Does Michael miss his best friend?
I didn't have a lot of them until later in life, so I may have inserted myself into this. You might notice some stuff. So it's a reality TV show. So what we're going to do is we want contestant types. So our character will be called Paul because that's Paul Rudd's character. Or Peter, sorry. Peter will need to find a best friend by the end of 12 weeks. Peter. Right. So we're going to bring on a bunch of different personality types because that's what Jason Segel was. He was a bunch of different personality types rolled into one character. Right?
Yeah.
He gave him confidence. He taught him how to navigate the world.
Plus, that guy just farted in your show home.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Nobody hands out like poppy seed pitas at a fucking showing. This is the best show home I've ever been to.
This is a good spread. This is a really good spread.
Really good spread.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring on the adventurous extrovert type who likes to get everybody out of their shell. We're going to have the intellectual introvert who's like Hunter from Survivor, always judging everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have the jock. You're going to have the creative. You're going to have the joker. And you're going to have the loyal companion. So you're going to have a different spread of all the qualities that come from a best man, or a best friend, I should say. It will be taking place on the lovely Lake of the Woods. So it'll be a giant man cabin with all of the amenities that you can think of. And over the 12 weeks, challenges will be laid out between our Peter and our cast so that Peter can essentially, by the end of the season, find a best friend. So you'll have adventure challenges where you'll have rock climbing, you'll have drag boat racing perhaps, you'll have, what else do I have here? Bungee jumping, basically everything that gets Peter out of his shell. Because Peter likes to bring hot cocoa to a room full of women. We need to get Peter participating in the world, right? Then you've also got the compatibility challenges. This is where we're going to be doing video games, Dungeons and Dragons, podcasting, mandates to the movies, stoner challenge, like all these different things that one Mike Petrow might like doing. You're gonna
measuring our
incorporate-
dicks.
Measuring our yeah, sure. Seriously.
What's your fetish?
We're gonna have the vulnerability challenge where our Peter has to have conversations with everybody about his dreams and his insecurities. So we're gonna do stuff like screaming lessons down by the water. We're gonna have confidence building, hot cocoa making, because that seems to be Peter's number one skill throughout the film. And this is going to encourage honesty and some vulnerability. This is where the dudes bring the chads, or what they're going to be called.
Chads.
They bring down their shell. Creative challenges. We're going to have producing short films, writing comedy sketches. The nickname challenge, which will be called the Jobin.
Jobin.
It's where by the end of the 12 weeks you have
Great.
to have a nickname for everybody. This is going to promote collaboration and creative thinking. And then lastly, we're going to have the trust challenge, where Peter will tell one secret but change one aspect of the secret to each contestant. And then the producers will encourage each contestant to share this knowledge with each other, and then we'll flush out which of them can't keep a fucking secret by the end of the 12 weeks. All right? Like I said, 12-week challenge. I want Mark Burnett to produce. Okay, I want big fun, right? Like, I want a pop culture man island where, like, man cave after man cave has been inserted into this. It's going to be a $500,000 prize of some quiche, or some cake, as Peter likes to say.
Some quiche.
As that's a lot of quiche, that $8,000.
A lot of quiche.
And, of course, who are my hosts, but no other than Paul Rudd and Jason Segel will be hosting The Bromance. Cool. That is my time. The floor is now yours, gentlemen.
All right.
I think it's just going to be one big orgy.
You think everyone's
Remember
going to be
the South Park
dicking?
episode when they took our jobs? All the guys are just like fucking each other.
Everyone's dicking.
Big dick
So
down?
in that episode where they started banging each other in protest, so they tried to be an orgy.
Fuck you, I don't want to be here
So
anymore.
it just turns into Gay Bachelor, and then they're like, damn it, this is why we couldn't do it.
Colton already
They
exists.
all love
Shit.
each other. Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, sure, okay.
I thought you were going to say soggy quiche at the end, like soggy muffin or soggy biscuit, you know, where they all do a circle jerk.
I did forget to mention
last person
shit.
has to eat it.
I forgot to mention that the challenges, like, our hosts will be like, gentlemen, assemble, it's time to slap the bass.
Try to choke out Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, exactly. That might be a special guest.
Yeah. No, that actually sounds hilarious, and I love the idea of bringing Paul Rudd and Jason Segel together to host.
We get the best of
contest
both
like
sides,
that.
right? Like, Segel will be pushing the contestants.
Yeah.
And Paul will be pushing the Peter.
Yeah.
That sounds weird. But he'll be pushing the Peter to, like, you know, meet in the middle. And, like, you know how, like think about, like, how they do Lego building with Will Arnett, how Will Arnett messes with it.
Yeah.
These two guys will be encouraged to incorporate comedy and mess around with it.
It's like the hosts of the great, what is it? The Great
Baking
British
Show.
Bake Off.
Yeah, exactly, right? Not stuffy.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, and, like, because it's a comedy, right?
The only thing that was missing was the round of, like, the memory you take to your grave. So they either have to bury a prostitute or, like,
that's true.
We crashed my mom's car.
I did miss that in the trust section.
Out.
Yeah. You're right.
That's something that solidifies, like, a lifelong friend.
That's bloodletting, right?
Basically, yeah. That was the only thing, but otherwise, that's a great show. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Right, and I thought, like, everybody needs, like, if you haven't found a best friend.
Sorry, how does he pick at the end? Is it a rose? Does he give a rose to each best friend?
No, it's a high five. Do you accept this high five, Chad?
Do you accept this high five? That's good.
Yeah. Do you accept this high five?
Okay, that's great. Cool.
Or, like, fist bump or some sort of, like,
a bro.
No, let's keep it the high five. Do you accept this high five?
I think the high five's great.
And you got to high five your bestie.
And you'll know, like,
kiss the bride.
And it'll be funny because if you're like, and then there's no, like, it's not a good one, people might be like, oh shit,
right? or like you do like a Top Gun one where it's like up down walking by, like it's got to be a performative high five.
Yeah, right.
So there you go.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And by the end of it, you get $500,000. You win the island that, like, you were playing at, and so Peter and his best friend will get to pimp out the island to their specs.
Oh my god!
So then the best friends will
$500,000.
$500,000 prize.
They get at the end.
To, like, go be best friends and fuck around.
Holy shit!
And an island to, like,
sponsoring that True North.
Yeah.
That sounds like Fuckboy Island. That's going to turn into Fuckboy Island.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not against the dicking. Like, this is about building a friendship. So, like, however we get there, we get there.
Do you take this dick? I do.
When there's a honey in the middle, there's some leeway.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's great.
Martin, anything else before you close this out? I'm willing to take
the one thing, I liked it. It's a very well fleshed out show. You had everything, like producers, you had hosts, challenges, what you wanted, the people you wanted to hire to play all the casts. The one thing that I was missing and that I would have wanted to see was like a mock marriage ceremony at the end. You know what I mean?
I watched that
like the
today.
besties are getting married.
Yeah.
Like you may now fist bump your bestie.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I did not
You get some sort of purity rings or something, some sort of ring.
Yeah.
You
said yes.
You get Green Lantern matching rings.
Yeah. And they
Right?
light
Yeah,
up.
like, you know what I
something
mean?
like
Something.
that.
They light
Something.
up together.
Yeah, they light up together. Yeah, because at the end of The Bachelor, you do have the big, love ceremony.
Yeah, you have a big ceremony at the end, right?
Okay.
That's what I wanted, like that big ceremony at the end.
Yeah. Well, in Survivor, they all get pizza. In the end of this, they ride off into video game world.
Oh, that's
sunset.
awesome. That's
Right?
hilarious. That's great.
Okay. All right.
And scene.
I agree with all of your.
I concede.
I like it. Well, Martin, you drew the biggest straw. So present us with what we all think we know, because you dropped a hint earlier in the show, and I'm pretty sure
What was
you're
the hint I
sticking
dropped?
with it. But
What's your fetish?
What's your fetish, Martin?
What's your fetish? Okay. For those of you who know me, like reality is probably like one of my least favorites, but there are some reality shows that I do love watching just because they're such a big train wreck. I love the train wreck of a reality show. I think that's my favorite part about it. So picture this. Just, gentlemen, pretend you're both normal human beings for a second. And you see an ad in the paper. You see an ad in the paper that says, hiring for new reality TV show like Survivor.
All right, you have my attention.
So you apply for it, you send your videos, whatever. You get there, you have to put like a bag over your head so you don't. It's a secret location that you're going to, right? So you get there, you get out. You think you're gonna go to like a Survivor kind of tropical island location, but it's not. You get out, and then you take the mask off, and you see that it's the Regal Beagle Hotel.
Okay.
And then you see the host, Flava Flav, there.
Oh my God.
Right? And then,
Okay,
did you guys
boy.
ever watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
Remember Chris Pratt's character when he had his TV show, Johnny Karate?
Yeah.
He had those little ninjas attack Jerry. So when you take the mask off, little ninjas will legit come out from the shadows and punch you in the genitals. And then Flava Flav will say the title of the show, You Got.
You got got. Come on.
Title of the show. So it's like a kind of a prank reality TV show, Survivor kind of. It is still like Survivor because you have to now survive a night in Winnipeg, downtown Winnipeg.
Oh my God.
So you'll have challenges. Some of the challenges, like one of the challenges will be you have to go to the beer vendor on Cumberland, like on the Balmoral Hotel.
Oh no.
And you have to buy a 2-quart of beer and carry it all the way back to the Regal Beagle.
Oh my Lord.
You have to get. Oh God. There's so many opportunities.
I'm
to
You got to
Sorry,
go to
right now,
that. You got to
thinking
go to
how to
the
do
PAL
Yep.
you got to go to the PAL for the last call. Take a bunch of shots and then somehow manage to make it back to the Regal Beagle in one piece. Stuff like that. Just dumb stuff. At the end of the night, you'll try to wait for a cab, but you know you'll never get one.
It's true. Very true.
Then you need. Yeah. And then one can just be. You need bus fare.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
You have no money.
so the thing with this, the people we're going to be hiring is the people. Because you remember how in reality game shows, those people who didn't quite get cast, but they had to play the audition tapes anyways?
Yeah.
They were so stupid.
Yeah.
Those are the people who we're hiring.
You're hiring the
great.
reject
All
role
the
of American
rejects.
Idol.
Yeah, all the contestants that didn't make it to American Idol, Survivor, whatever.
B
That's
pool.
who we're hiring.
It's really great because then you don't have to feel bad at all for what they do.
No, it's just a bunch of what is that girl from Survivor that you mentioned, the millionaire? Picture
Oh,
a cast
Liz.
like that.
Oh God. Let her burn.
Like a show full of Liz's. Or
Oh.
what's that?
Jalinsky.
Jelinski's. A show full of Liz's and Jelinski's. That's who you're doing.
Several.
You're not going to feel bad. It's just going to be like, just please die.
Several Jelinskis
Yeah,
and one
you
Liz.
deserve this. You deserve this.
Oh, I forgot to add, for the beer vendor, you're going to have to go, like the beer vendor challenge, you're going to have to walk barefoot, and then you're going to have to walk through that park in front of it. You know that
Oh,
where there's a bunch of
God.
needles in the ground.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, I love how he's combined Survivor, Most Extreme Challenge, and like a scavenger hunt into downtown.
Like kind of like I put a little bit of Amazing Race in it too as well.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you told. Oh my god!
And then you'll have to ride the bus at like whatever the last bus is that goes down Portage in Maine. You have to ride that last bus.
Yeah. But you have to catch it in front of City Hall.
Yeah, you have to catch it in the worst place possible.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll drop you off at Higgins in Maine.
Yeah.
Oh, and did I mention it's summertime in Winnipeg?
So everybody's out.
Nice.
Crime is at an all-time high. Because crime dips low in the winter.
Oh, they all go
everyone's too cold
hibernate.
to commit crime. So.
And in every challenge, no matter what, at some point you have to ask for change. You don't need it, but you have to ask for it.
Oh my god.
You gotta ask for change for the bus at City Hall.
Yeah, no,
that's what you gotta do. They don't give you any money, so you have to because you spent it all on beer.
That's right.
So
and
you gotta ask for change.
Awesome.
You're docked points for every beer that you have to hand out or that gets broken while you're making your way back to
It's not just this. It's not just this. Like my idea is not just for Winnipeg, but like every city has like their bad side of town.
Yeah.
So each location will be a different city. Like
so, there's an
Chicago,
opportunity for anyone, is what you're saying.
Or like Watts in L.A. or Compton.
But I like what he's doing. I like that he's taking people who would never be in those areas and inserting them into it. Like
right.
Like imagine William Hung in the show.
Yeah. But all of the people who obviously don't make those shows aren't those great of people because you got to have some personality to be on a reality TV show. So like watching,
that's who I want to see.
Watching the heels and the idiots and the shit show, I love that.
Yeah.
I'd pay $60 a pay-per-view to watch that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Would you pay enough for a vote?
Would I vote with integrity? Is what I'm really saying.
Michael's all on board my show.
Okay, the only critique I have is that I would have loved to have had a late night hot dog eating competition inserted into it, where you have to migrate from every hot dog cart outside each bar.
That's great.
And like it's an eating challenge or something.
Yeah.
But now you got like 10 hot dogs in you, and you're fucking tired, and you're drunk, and you have to carry beer and avoid needles and bum for change, like all of these things.
Is there like penalties? Like, oh no, you didn't catch the bus. You have to smoke crack.
No, you just get left behind. You just get left behind in downtown Winnipeg.
That's the world. That's the world, man.
You're a walking.
Yeah, you're a walking.
Like I just imagine everyone's gonna drop out of the show.
Yeah.
This is like a Squid Game.
Well, you know what?
I didn't even tell you what you guys win.
Oh yeah, what?
I never even told you what you guys win. You win a spot on the show Survivor.
And then you should win.
You should win.
That's what you win. You win a chance to be on Survivor. No money. You just win a chance to be on Survivor.
This is actually the screening process for Survivor. This is Jeff's own sick twisted show.
This is
It's one camera and him watching it at all times.
And like when they're done, it's like, I'm sorry, you don't get to be on the show. And they just do it to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
So Jeff
you didn't
Coates
make
is
the cut.
one camera, him watching the whole time. Just it's plugged directly into the live stream. He's smoking a cigarette. He's got a drink, saying, "What's your fetish?
Show me your dick.
Swear to me."
Show me your fetish. Oh god.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great show.
Charles, final thoughts before we go to vote.
I mean, there's so much endless opportunity with it, really. I don't think there's enough reality shows set in Winnipeg, so
I agree. I would love to watch something that's set in my backyard.
I would love the one, and it would be cool for people to like bond over, like, oh yeah, I see the Calgary one of that. Oh,
Well,
I've seen the Winnipeg.
There's a thing we're overlooking is that like
it's like cops.
This isn't for people who this is for people who deserve to be put there. This is for people who it'd be fun to watch there because they wouldn't survive. Like
yeah.
Right. That's
Well, you know what I mean? You get those audition tapes of just terrible auditions, but you never people love those, but you never see them after that.
But you're like, let's
I want a whole show based on that.
So it could literally be like, like cops is from that perspective. This could be like bad guys. It's like the regents from their perspective, and they're put in scenarios.
It's brilliant. No, I like it. It's like Death Race, but with
like the X Factor to X-Men.
Yeah. That's great.
Did you have? I'm sorry, there's been so much. Did you have a name?
Oh, you got.
Oh, I got okay.
That's right. You got with Flavor Flav. With Flavor
Flav.
Do you get a clock if you get saved at all? Is there any little cross promotion there?
No, we're keeping it simple. It's just it's such a hard challenge already. You just have to survive the night. That's it.
Yeah.
Flavor Flav's like, I got paid $500,000 to just show up in this alley and say this.
And plus, you know what? I want to resurrect Flavor Flav's popularity again on the meta. So let's have him back on the show.
I agree.
I
agree.
Finding Love with Flavor Flav. That was a
great show.
That was classic.
And then they gave him a spinoff with the crazy lady from Iago Drago's wife,
right?
Red Sonja.
Red Sonja.
Did you listen?
Yeah. That's her. Yeah,
they had.
Remember, because they had a thing. Because you know what it was? The Surreal Life.
That's
where they let those B celebrities bunk. It was Big Brother with like Joey from Uncle Joey from Full House.
Yeah.
And fucking Dave Coulier and Flava Flav and her, and they started hooking up. And then they gave them their own show.
They had their own showmans.
Yeah, and then they beat the shit out of each other, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, well, you guys ruined it.
We can't.
We can't just show you guys beating the shit out of each other every episode.
This looks like a domestic
Illegally,
violence.
we can't.
Yeah. Okay, we have got a prank superhero show. We have a best friend finding bachelor-esque show,
right.
And we have a downtown Winnipeg Survivor show. All of which deserve lots of money to start making right now.
It was Pulling the Cape,
the
bromance, and You Got Got with Flava Flav.
Like
with Flavor Flav,
starting out with ball punches from Little Ninjas. Like that's your introduction to the game.
Just genital punches, not ball. Everyone gets hit in the genitals.
Right.
Man, woman, anything,
anybody,
anything.
Non-binary, you all get hit in the
punch
balls.
between the legs.
Everybody.
There's no discrimination in being attacked.
Yes. If you have a crotch, we'll hit it.
Yes, that's right.
Charles, you went first, so
I get the first vote, hey? Oh, shit. I mean, that's a tough one. Everybody brought their A game, I must say.
I mean, I can look you in the
we
eye
all do
here.
bring our A games.
I can look you in the eye here, and I can confidently say that I don't
He's gonna throw paper.
I don't think
He's gonna throw paper.
I'm gonna cue this. I don't think it should be me. I don't think I can hold up against Downtown Survivor. I think you got I'm just saying, I don't want to make this easy, but You Got has all of our favorite things that we watch in Survivor.
Yeah.
We could do this tonight on a Sunday if we wanted to,
It's
if we found
like,
the right B-roll tape.
You can also have like that hometown feeling too.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
Season 1 is in Winnipeg, my friends.
Season 1 of everything should be like, imagine The Wire Season 1 in Winnipeg. Yeah.
But just take a moment. And think. I'm just saying.
I think, I agree with you. I want to see You Got.
I need Flavor Flav back in.
This is really just all an excuse
weekly.
to bring Flavor Flav.
I think it is.
Because you know what I forgot to say was there is a host for mine, and it is Flavor Flav.
Oh, convenient of you.
No, I think I agree. You
I
got. I think so. Flavor Flav in Winnipeg alone would be wild.
Martin, that's it, buddy. There it is.
Do you notice how when Jimmy's not here, we all vote with integrity?
But that's his. That's what he brings. He brings the chaos.
He's the wild card.
Yeah, he's the wild card. Bitches! Yeah. Well, and he never gets out of a bracket. He's always fucked in the first round of a bracket. So I think that's him playing vengeance on the rest of us when we
because he would have. What is it? It would have been Muppets reality show. It would have been the next Muppet.
Yeah. Who's the next? Who's
the next piggy?
And you know what you could call it? The Hand.
Whoa.
Right? Because everybody would be like, what's The Hand about? And be like, The Hand is the puppet.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Jim Henson's brought to you by Jim Henson. Oh, God. We should make that reality television. Who could be the next Muppet?
Oh, my God.
That'd be a cool reality show.
That'd be
like an actual
really
person
cool.
who
Well, you won already. You have it.
I know I have a Muppet, but could I be a Muppet?
Well, this is okay.
The next Frank Oz.
Just being honest with you guys, they announced the new live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ronin movie.
I know.
Do you think they're going to go back to
Hell yeah.
That's what I heard. I heard the rumor is they're looking right now. And
I also heard the rumor is Zack Schneider might get that.
Oh, no.
Why you don't want slow takes with really long songs?
Let Zach just do his Netflix shit. Let him just do that let him have fun there. Like, I don't think he needs. What about like? I don't want David Fincher I don't want Zack Snyder. I was like, David Fincher could be cool.
I'd love the guy who did Shogun to do it.
That would be proper.
You know who would be cool too? Just because I love what he did with Godzilla is the guy who did Godzilla -1. That could be interesting.
Anybody who can, because Ronin is based in it's samurai. It is.
You know, it's the last remaining Ninja Turtle, and
looking for another master.
Basically wants to take
Jimmy
down the
bought me
hand.
the graphic novel.
It's the last stand against the hand, or sorry, the
foot.
The foot. Sorry, it's the last stand against the foot instead of the Muppets.
And it's the last stand against the hip socket.
But it's like the last stand against the Foot Clan, and there's one Ninja Turtle left.
That's
why he's the last Ronin. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's the best part about the whole thing is finding out who the one left is.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome because you don't know.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you.
Because they have everything.
I'm reading it right now.
They have all the bandanas. They have all the weapons. So you're just like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, he's not clothed. So
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if.
Oh, so there you go. Yeah, that's how they started. Yeah.
Interesting. I can't.
But that's part of it. Like that's totally part of the story. And you kind of don't know what's going on. You know, shit has gone down. But you're like, I don't know what's going, but this is awesome. But anyways, the live action, I'm hoping they're like
proper
90s, not Michael Bay, like 90s.
Oh,
like
original.
a puppet. Like Henson made those.
Yeah, not CG, like actual costume.
Yeah, you want Corey Haim as Donatello again.
Yeah, man. Well, he voiced it, but yeah. The rumor is though, like
Really?
they're looking at. Well, I could see him wanting to be in the costume.
He needs some money.
There's coke in here. No, but like I like they're looking at like big stunt coordinators, like what they did in the 90s. Like they actually are looking at stunt coordinators, like people that would be willing to do karate and shit in a suit, basically.
Just get Ernie Reyes Jr. again.
The time is now, right? Like that is, that, you know what? With the resurgence of the Seth Rogen animation, even with Michael Bay trying to keep it relevant, like they might not be great, but it did keep it alive.
Even
right?
Star Wars is still trying to make an effort. Disney is making an effort to still use like puppets and animatronics.
Yeah, the
like,
practical effects.
Yeah, they're still trying to make an effort. So this would just, and again, I would think practical effects like a suit, that same technology from the 90s now, I would hope is like come a long way.
You could put them in suits so they feel that they're in the suit.
Yeah.
And then adapt on it.
Yeah.
And fix it where you got to in post.
And I mean, in the 90s, the things fucking blinked. Their mouths open. Like, imagine now, right? Like,
I still
know
watch
what
that movie with awe.
It's great.
I'm like, I
It's
know
great.
that they're animatronic.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
You know what was also great use of...
It's also rated R. Sorry, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's rated R.
It's got to be.
Fucking awesome.
I want to hear a turtle say fuck. No.
It's turtle time.
What was a great example of practical effects this week that had everybody laughing, that's been viewed like over 10 million times?
Oh,
which we've
yes.
all seen, was, if you haven't seen it yet, listeners, SNL's been on a streak.
Oh, yeah.
These last 2 weeks. Kristen Wiig and Ryan Gosling's episodes. The Jumanji skit on Kristen Wiig's was absolutely brilliant in the use that it was just so simple.
Yeah.
Her fear
And
of
heated.
being Jumanji'd, but then to the point where it's heated, but also, how do you Jumanji? Do you Jumanji in? Do you Jumanji out?
And
right?
then the video game. She's like, well, that's not a video game. And they're like, ah!
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really funny.
Martin,
like almost...
Kristen Wiig doesn't play board games because she has a phobia of getting Jumanji'd.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And then it gets into the point where they're
And
like...
She doesn't understand it's just the board game Jumanji. She's like, how do you know? What if it's any game? And they're like, no.
It's true. How do you know? You
It's
never
true.
know.
Everybody makes
you
valid
be-
points. That's the best part of the skit. Like, one guy makes a counterpoint. I'm like, that's a good point.
Like, it's like if you got
Yeah.
snakes and laddered.
Yeah,
If
and
you-
then
if you
then
got-
remember, he's like, what Jumanji are you talking about?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Jumanji'd in the game or getting Jumanji'd out? And
Yeah.
then she's like, Howard, he's like, what? I'm invested now.
And like, is your Jumanji with Robin Williams or is your Jumanji with The Rock? Right?
Because there's a person there that's like, I don't get it. It's not a video game. And then everyone's like, come on. Yeah. It's so funny.
But the Beavis and Butthead sketch that launched last weekend, phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen it yet, premise is easy. There was an interview taking place, Kenan Thompson and Heidi Gardner. Heidi Gardner's interviewing him for Newsnight about AI. He answers a question, cut camera over Heidi's shoulder, and Ryan Gosling is dressed as Beavis.
Yes.
From Beavis and Butthead.
The hairpiece.
The nose, everything is there. And
he's
the whole,
sitting like him.
It throws off Kenan Thompson's character. He's like, I don't know if anybody else knows this, but he looks like Beavis. And then the bit starts with Ryan Gosling being like, I don't know who this person is.
I've heard rumblings.
And then cut to doing the same thing again. But then behind Heidi's second attempt is Butthead, as Mikey Day as Butthead.
Oh, man, and it is scary.
Cut to the two of them being put side by side again after both of them being moved, and now it looks like a Beavis and Butthead episode.
And classic SNL, a big part of what makes us so stupid and funny is no one is supposed to know who Beavis and Butthead are.
Yes.
Only Kenan Thompson is. So he's like, part of it is everyone's laughing, and he's like, come on, you're sitting them next to each other. They're sitting together like they do on the show. And no one's like, what? Everyone's
That's
like, what are you talking
Cornholio. You know, when he eats the sugar and his alter ego comes out?
Yeah. She's like, let's go to Twitter. Let's see what Twitter's saying. They're like, does Cornholio want more TV for his butthole? So what I think was the genius thing, and this is something that Lauren's been against, but he's getting old, so I think he's just open to anything now, is when SNL would release DVDs like Best of Will Ferrell, they would always have sketches that they recorded, but it was dress rehearsal.
Yeah, a lot
and
of this,
everybody gets the giggles out at dress rehearsal, and then when it's live, it's only Jimmy Fallon laughing, or like, you know what I mean? But now this season, they convince Lauren, we should only let everyone see us in the makeup on when we're filming for the, like, why hide the giggles, all of us losing our mind? And that's why when they all turn around, they lose it because they haven't seen. That's the first time they're seeing them in makeup.
Martin, did you like? I don't think I've ever seen Heidi Gardner break
like that hard.
No,
never.
And also, Martin, to your astute debating skills, Colleen Rafferty also made an appearance.
Yes, she did.
That's my favorite skit.
My favorite skit. What a way to open it, hey? Like, as if they just opened it right away.
When she puts her head underneath Gosling's ball sack, and it's like, this is what they were doing to me. I don't know what they were doing to you.
And he just puts his hat down like this so he can't see
his bit of like, I'd just like to mention that I have other clothing. This is what I wore last time. I know I'm wearing it again.
Yeah, they're like, noted.
No. But no, that Beavis and Butthead, like the brilliance of it is that you could tell Heidi didn't see them.
No, nobody. Like even Kenan, like when Kenan first looks,
Kenan admitted this week he broke in dress.
Yeah.
That's how he got his giggles out.
Yeah, because he always saw them from the beginning, but Heidi wasn't allowed to see them. That was the first time. That's why Mikey keeps going like this with his eyes. He's like, huh? And he keeps like, at one point he like leans because he knows she's dying. Yeah, and I love that Mikey first goes to, what's his face? Longfellow or whatever, that rookie. He's like, when he's like, can you move the guy in the gray? And he's like, I think they want you to move. He's like, he's clearly talking about you.
Martin, thoughts on the sketch?
Oh, it's great. I love Beavis and Butthead, and
Yeah, me too.
I love Ryan Gosling, so
Yeah.
I can imagine them like this gained so much. What if they did like a Beavis and Butthead the later years, played by Ryan
A
Gosling?
live action Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah,
I would
the later
watch that.
years.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like what they are doing now.
Yeah.
So you want like a
movie.
Yeah.
You want a Wayne's World?
Yeah. Well,
No,
so
it
Martin,
was-
have you been watching the latest show that's on like Paramount Plus?
No, I haven't.
So
Is it good? I don't have Paramount Plus.
It's really
I'll
good.
give you my password later.
It's really good, but what's funny is they're actually they came out with a new movie to launch the new show, and the movie is they go into a time warp and they end up in modern day. So they go from 98 to 2023
and they comment on modern day.
And they comment.
Charles?
Sorry?
Still a cartoon?
Yes. Yeah, and it's Mike Judge doing everything.
Yeah.
He does the voices, everything.
Well, have you seen his show? Sorry, before we I just wanted to, but have you seen his like Tales from Mike Judge's Tales from he does one like Tales from the Bus for Outlaw Country and then one for Funk?
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
And it's like
Yeah.
real life
These are
stories.
really-
It's,
Oh my
on
God.
Crave. I can't
Tales from
remember.
the Bus.
It's on Crave?
Yeah. You can
Wait,
also
Tales,
get it on
check
YouTube.
it out.
Tales from the Bus, that's the show
No,
with
sorry, that's
the one with Carla Gugino, isn't it?
Mike Judge. This is Mike Judge's show. I know what you're talking about. Tales from the Bus.
Shit.
It's the political
Yeah.
show.
But it's on Crave. I got to check that out.
this show Martin's talking about is on Crave.
Okay, I got to check that out because like,
If you like
I
Mike
have
Judge,
Crave.
yeah,
I love
definitely
Mike
check it out.
Judge. Love him.
Yeah,
Like I think he's an absolute underrated genius.
he's very
Like
underrated.
Idiocracy, I think is one of the most underrated comedies. Like not enough people have watched it.
One of the hardest movies to make, and
Yeah.
is now so culturally fucking relevant.
Extract, like anyways, but yeah, so when they go to the time warp, they go in their timeline in the future and they actually come across like their 98 versions keep aging. So when they go back to find themselves, they don't even realize they find themselves and they're in their 50s and they're like pushing 60
Okay, I need to
and they're
watch this.
fucked.
I need to
So
watch
what the show did is the show continued. They end up back in their timeline, but the show will do an episode where it's them back in their timeline and then continuing 2023 Beavis and Butthead.
I remember you raved about it when it came out because it went straight to streaming, right?
It went straight to Paramount, bought it out.
That's what I want, but for a movie with Ryan Gosling.
Oh, yeah, no, and I think it would
Mikey
be...
Day.
And they kind of have stuff
Mikey
they
Day,
can
yeah.
work with. Like, they could take some of those episodes. Like, one of them is, like, Beavis, like, Butthead's hearing aid runs out of battery juice, and they're trying to go on a journey to get it, like, juiced back up or, like, get batteries or whatnot, but Beavis convinces him, like, he's deaf. So he starts, like, slapping everything to get around. He's like, I can feel the vibrations. And he's like, so he's smacking people. He's smacking Beavis, and he's like, I can see your sound. It makes no sense. It's so stupid, but yeah.
I can see your sound.
I can see your sound. And he's like, and Beavis is like vibrating, and he's like, yeah.
Cornholio
But
sound.
they're like 60, like he has a bad hip. So he's always like this now.
I can see your dick.
Yeah, it's great. It's really funny.
Tell us your fetish.
Show us your dick. I can also.
Like, you got to name this episode. Tell us your fetish.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I think it's gonna definitely have to.
But
be.
we were talking about this earlier, but I agree. SNL, I think, is at one of its best casts in decades. I think it's on fire right now.
They're figuring some things out.
Things are great.
Special guesting.
Their rookies are on fire.
Yeah.
Their leads, like everyone's good. Like the Daily Show is like.
The Daily Show?
The Weekend Update, is like
How
one of
dare
the
you
best.
confuse?
Yeah.
You're confusing networks.
Oops.
Whoopsies.
Jon Stewart.
I can, if there's one thing I can definitely see is that the end of our time together has now reached its pinnacle.
Yeah.
And we hope you've had a great time with us today, listener. Like we
sure
said, I'm sure they did. You're right, Martin. But if you've got an idea that you want to submit, like we said at the top of this debate, our voicemail line, call in on it. Come up with your favorite movie character name. That's who you're going to be. You could have a reoccurring spot. We could just be like, Captain Hook keeps calling in. And Captain Hook has this to say, blah, blah, blah. And that could be you. And it would be a lot of fun. And it causes engagement. And that really helps our career. If you interact with us, helps the show become more interesting. You get to be like a mini.
I love Captain Hook, but I don't really agree with his take on child labor laws.
Yeah, right? See what I mean? That kind of thing.
Help me help you.
Help me help you. No. But yeah, it's all in the show notes. Follow, like, and subscribe. Subscribing is the best for us as well, too. It makes us trend higher. Leave a review. That also makes us trend higher. You know this. You're a podcast fan. You listen to podcasts all the time. We're lucky enough to be in your rotation. But this is for the new people who've gotten this far. So if you liked what you heard, leave us a review. Subscribe to the show. Stay in the Debaterverse. And we'll show up almost each and every week. And if you're from Winnipeg and you've never been to a trivia night, come May 23rd.
And if you're from Winnipeg, watch out. You might get got.
You might get got.
You might. You never know. It might get
You might
made.
turn around and find yourself punched in the balls or in the crotch in the nether regions, and all of a sudden you're on a reality TV show. You didn't even know how you got there.
But if you got stabbed, that's not reality TV. Call the hospital. Get help.
That's the Winnipeg hello, as Jimmy would say.
Yeah.
It's Jimmy's bit. Anyways, listener, I've been Michael.
I am Charles.
I've been Martin, and you got.
Watch all the movies. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
If you have any problems, dial information. Thank you for calling.